Okay. So, guys, the last time we left our heroes, they were on a trip to the Pearl Island. Through the storms and shenanigans with the anglerfish, the worm giants, and whatnot. Not without losses, you guys reached the shores of the Pearl Island and embarked on the shore near the ruins of the old fortress. You have a crude map that Corellum draw on his free time of the Pearl Island. Corellum.
Yes.
I would like you immediately to roll a survival check to understand where you are and where you need to go. Yeah, let's say during the travelings you have fully healed. You took a long rest. It took like a day and a half to reach the goal. But after that, the sea was calm. All right. You actually, when you was putting this map onto a parchment, you actually remembered that there is a somewhat crater-looking terrain up to the north of the island, in the middle of the dense forest, that supposedly may be a volcano, and supposedly may be the temple that you're looking for. What you guys gonna do?
Is it now that we're supposed to go on the cover with new names?
No. It's your downturn yet. You didn't reach the Greylands yet. You are going for the Warmongers.
Okay. Sorry. Well, let's head off then.
Mia stretches, happy to be on land again.
Corey seems confident enough about his direction, so Dinesh is just following him to the Warmongers.
Okay. The sailing crew, which is not numerous now, it's 3 people, drops the anchor and goes to the shore to collect some fresh fruit or maybe berries or whatnot, supplies to make a variety on the ship. They say, like, walking past you, say, we will be there maybe like in a day. I suppose you will be finishing your businesses over here. They kind of questionably like looking at you and waiting for response. If they should break out the camp and wait for longer or not.
Yeah, we may stay here for a while, depending on how things goes.
He frowns and says, how, for how long?
Couple of months.
Yeah, a couple of months.
One of them was drinking like water from the wine sack. He's like, what? A couple of months? Why we didn't get notified about this?
Peanut Alana?
Surprise!
Meow.
Well, my hope is still that we can bring with us a warmonger back. Though I don't know exactly how stubborn they are. If they are too stubborn, I guess we can return and tell you to come and fetch us instead or something.
Well, we have planned our little trip to here and then to the cover port, but it seems We gotta talk about this, and they kind of clump up and discuss what they should do.
Maybe you should offer them.
Isn't that nice?
Okay.
So-
Should one of us go with Corey and check out the warmongers?
Yeah, can
Corey.
we see the temple?
Who the hell's Corey?
So, roll a perception check. Let's see if you do see.
Wait, who rolls?
Okay.
Mio is asking if he sees the temple.
Lana? Who is Corey?
She points at Corey.
Hey, Mio, you don't see the temple itself, but you see like there is a large opening amidst the woods, and there is like a what seems to be a crater of a volcano, like peeking out of the tall forest.
Oh, I meant the warmonger's place,
Well, time for us to go and do another volcano.
but or is that the warmonger's place?
How about we all go together? I mean, it'd be silly if only one of us left.
I can see the temple across the river there, and I'll point towards it.
Alternatively, those of us who want to be trained by them can go on ahead, and the rest can stay here for now.
Okay. So Zichak, one of the sailors, approaches you and says, "Alright, we can wait for you. But it will cost you a bit. 100 gold." He kind of smirks.
Lana just shrugs. Fine.
I'm whispering to Volana's ear, we could kill them, and I could turn them into undead slaves.
And they kind of look.
Valana is just going to stomp on your toes.
I'll hear what Mio said.
Yeah. You're all together.
I cuff him up the back of the head.
Ow!
Hey, that's my job.
Look, I'm just making suggestions!
Really?
I
And,
think I liked him better as a silent ninja.
So, sailors walk up to you and all and says, "So we staying here? Do you have tents and whatnot? We will break out the camp and go fetch some firewood, try to hunt something for a fresh meat."
Yes, find something delicious, please.
Oh, yes, we do have tents.
Says, "Good. If you would leave them here, we'll break out the camp."
Okay.
Valana pulls out her pink tent and please.
You don't have a pink tent, you have a non. You have two four-person tents and
This is
two
not
person-
undercover, Valana. We just established it, Alejandro.
Yeah, except you wouldn't have been allowed to bring both tents.
Yeah, to Greylands.
We're not going. We're probably going straight from the Greylands from here. It'd be stupid to head all the way back and then up to the Greylands. I mean, seriously, you guys didn't pack in preparation to continue on to the Greylands after we finished here.
I honestly don't know how Slava's plan works.
Well, basically, you took all the equipment with you,
Right, so we have the third tents.
and you trained in it to get used to it, like sort of get into the role.
Okay, so then Valana has two tents. One normal and one is the pink tent of feeling. Valana
We
pulls
have
out the pink tent of feeling.
Two
and
four.
heads for the
We have
temple.
two 4-people tents and a double tent.
So, one of the more scruffy sailors just comes up. There's like a scar going through his one eye. He takes the pink tent and like says, "That's fancy."
Always a princess, Valana. Always a princess. I mean, if you're going to insist on traveling with such a tent, maybe you should start acting like a duchess at all times.
She just shrugs and smiles at you.
I still love you, big sis.
I like my pink tents of feelings. I've shared
good.
many drinking nights in it.
It's pink! It's pink! There is not a more vulgar color.
Pretty, pretty princess.
Yes. She is a very pretty little princess.
Okay, so we've established that Valana is incapable of letting go of her princess status. So maybe we should change our undercover plans. I shall think on this.
So they say, we will be breaking out the camp a little bit higher up on the river. Maybe there is some fish there. It says, approximately, it says, above 800 feet.
Alundra indicates to the packs where the 2 4-people tents and the tent, so that they can also be picked up. And they're not pink or purple or pink with purple polka dots or anything like that.
Do you want me to paint them pink?
Paint them pink, I'll have to torch.
She laughs.
I literally walk over to the Lana and here. Careful, I'll reach Mio to have relations with her. And then start walking.
So, as you kind of get up and try to, reach for the temple,
Yeah.
you actually realize that someone is missing.
Damn it, Mio, where are you now?
No. It's actually Isa, the paladin, is missing.
Where's Isa?
So I just shrugs.
Wait,
She was just around here.
And
actually, I haven't. Wait, have we actually seen? Has anyone seen Isa since the attack on the ship?
make a perception check.
I mean,
Well, everyone or
Well, I was looking, yeah.
Damn, Moon's been getting those perception checks.
Okay, Neo and Silas, you both look over the ship and you see like a piece of cloak, what that was below, just ripped on the one of the railings on the upper deck.
oh crap.
ah shit.
Well, this isn't good.
Yeah, I'm just will survive out of sheer stubbornness.
Drop.
So,
Balana,
Yes?
you do your best. Do you want to say some words?
Out of character, I literally have no words because it's kind of.
Oh, I wish we hadn't lost you at sea. I could have really used your corpse.
Balana stamps on Mio's feet again.
Ow!
I whack him on the back of. I walk over to Mio and whack him on the back of the head.
Ow!
On the back of that.
Honestly, Mio.
You're pregnant right now. That was just heartless.
Oh, speaking of which, nobody's going to stop me from doing this. He walks over and touches the amulet and casts Remove Curse.
Okay.
what are you doing? Touching.
He's casting Remove Curse on the amulet to try and get rid of that.
Make an Arcana check, please.
Ah, that's a low roll.
You sorta try to remove curse, but it feels like the surface of the amulet is repulsive, and you try to grasp it. You need to touch it to remove, but it somewhat evades your grasp, like it is having like a barrier around it.
I'm not doing it.
Can I try one more time?
Mio, there's a time and a place. Now's really not the time for that.
When is the time?
I mean, how long have you been traveling with her? God, she can be. She just whacked him on the back of the head again.
Ow!
Same.
Valana just pulls Alhambra
Alive again?
away.
She's still my companion.
But Valana pulls Alhambra away, just patting her shoulder like, it's me, you. Just.
For once, I wish I had my gauntlets on while slapping him.
I didn't think he was such a cold-hearted bastard. I mean, I knew he was a bit. He had a few marbles loose in his head, but he's an asshole. I never knew. Ah, Mio, you're beyond redemption. You're beyond help.
Nisi leans over to Mio and goes, "Don't worry, there'll be plenty of bodies in the Greyland for you to play with. I promise."
That is wonderful.
Yeah.
And I'm not heartless. I'm just view
Practical.
death differently than you.
I have nothing against necromancy. It's the words and the timing of them that I have an issue with.
Yes. Although I do think necromancy is a bit creepy.
Well, I think cat people are a bit creepy. Yeah.
Well, let's be honest. Each of us have our special abilities and special problems.
Honestly, as long as neither one of them are getting stuff on the rug, I don't care.
Although we really should get handle that ambulance situation because I really don't like being spied on.
Okay, so let's just let the sailors do their jobs and we all go to the Warmonger's temple.
Yeah.
To the temple!
It was already packed up and
Hollywood, would you like to lead the way?
Can Silas try one more time to try and remove the amulet?
you're trying to remove the amulet. You're trying to
You're trying to cast remove curse on it, then remove the amulet.
make an arcana check with a disadvantage because you tried it before. So
No, you crit!
Are you kidding me?
That's harsh.
Oh,
that's what you get for multiple tries. You fail, you commit with it. So you try again, and it's still sort of, like in a force field. It's fascinating in your perspective of arcane magic and whatnot. Such a good protection.
What are you doing?
trying to remove the device around your neck that's been spying on us constantly?
Oh, I don't think it's... Is it doing that? I look at it.
Yes, it is. I discerned that earlier.
Does it have an eye? I don't think it can see us.
It's an observation device. I told you that when you first got it.
Then why doesn't he just put it under his robes?
Told me a lot of things.
Well,
that what-
Mio doesn't listen to people.
Mio,
Yes.
could you please do me a favor? Could you the amulet under your robe so that whoever might be spying on us isn't actually able to see us? I mean, please,
Not sure of...
please, Mio.
Oh, right.
Thank you. And I
I
do
will-
apologize for hitting you in the back of the head, and I not to do it again.
I'll put the amulet underneath my robe, I guess.
Yeah.
So,
Amanda walks over and presses a kiss to his cheek. Thank you. And then
Yeah.
moves off.
Okay.
Neil looked at her suspiciously.
She just literally walked in the direction of the wall temple where it was pointed out. we
Valana
go?
just stares at Alhambra confused and then shakes it off.
Yeah,
Right,
so I was really confused as well as he looks at it.
let's go to the
Are you guys coming?
Warmongers.
Are you guys coming?
Valana starts following.
Okay. As you look around yourself, taking a better glance at the island, It's some sort of a more jungle area with the wildlife is at its peak, and there is like lianas and high tall grass and whatnot. As soon as you go away from the beach, and the river, when you approach it, you see that it's actually steaming hot, like not boiling, but the vapors coming out of the water. And where you have embarked, there is a broken fort that was probably a watchtower, which is partially collapsed, and at the moment it seems almost like ancient. As you look at it, there is like moth all over it, and there is like dents and gaps in the tower. But there is no crossway across the river. There is no possible transportation but swimming at this point. So what you guys gonna do? I suppose you walk somewhere over there.
For a way up, I gather. So yeah.
So no swimming.
Yeah, it's hot, but you don't know how hot.
Okay, so wait, this isn't the temple. Okay, no, I was.
We have
You're
to go.
going for the temple. Over there.
Putting my stuff up on.
Okay, that's where we're heading. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
then we need to cross the river somehow.
Yeah, and there is no bridges, there is no like anything to cross it, and it's about 30 feet wide.
Are there any
Oh,
large
man.
trees in this area right here?
For some reason, the forest is quite pushed away from the river, maybe like 300 to 400 feet away from the river. So no large trees.
How
So Mio's like,
many
wait.
people can you teleport, Silas?
Me and one other.
Oh,
I can
Stepping-
also.
Stepping quite
Or
close
under-
to Silas. Yeah. I'll be the one.
do
You
we need?
two shall not be teleported somewhere I don't see you.
What?
Do we
I
need
think
to?
we can see across the river, Valana. And I'll teleport you.
You two shouldn't be teleported where I can't. You.
Well, if you're not being...
Yes, but
Okay.
well, can't you only
guys,
teleport?
guys.
Can't you not teleport without? Can you try teleporting without?
How wide is the river?
What? It is approximately 30 feet, 30, 40.
So the river's 30 feet wide.
Approximately, yeah. On the looks.
Okay.
Four of us can be teleported?
Hold on. Who's the heaviest person of the group besides me?
That would be Valana.
Excuse me?
In your armor? Yeah.
Which armor is she wearing?
Plate.
Yep. She's not undercover yet, so she's still in her plate armor.
How much does Valana weigh in the plate armor?
Across.
Approximately 300 pounds.
Huh.
Including the shield, including the sword and everything. Yeah, and the equipment. She's pretty heavy.
$30 feet. I could probably fly her across if she's the heaviest,
I
and
mean,
just work my way down.
I can
I would.
just be teleported with Mara.
Yes.
I stand close to Silas and look at him. Can I go with you?
If you like.
Mara grabs Solana's hand and goes, "Bye!" And you hear a loud boom as
Just in time
Mara
for
and
it.
Solana vanish.
As you grab Valana and like teleport her on the other side of the river, there is a large, loud explosion like on the place that you leave, and you see like birds flutter out of the forest and yelling like, yeah, yeah.
Which is dangerous.
He grabs. He just grabs Alejandra and teleports them both 500 feet across the river.
500 feet. Okay, so you're
Into
500 feet. Okay, make an Arcana check.
Wait, why?
You are not familiar with the forest, and you teleport 500 feet.
Oh, does that? Okay, not into the forest then. It just goes fly over here or something. Just over here.
Not retrospect. No retrospect. Roll an Arcana check. How good you manipulate.
I give him guidance.
16.
Okay, 16 is enough, but you appear like next to the tree, like nose to the
Oh.
surface of the tree. Like that was close.
Holy shit! That was.
Okay, mind the misjudge the distance there.
I'm literally jumping into Silas. What the hell?
Okay, Mio stands up and sort of releasing the spell. You feel like some sort of energy engulfs you all, and you see Mio walks across the river, just like on the surface.
I just teleported 90 feet with Valana. Didn't want to go too far because I didn't want to actually teleport into a tree.
Guys, you are imbued with the spell. Mio, please explain. Yeah. So you just can walk across.
Yeah. Mia's gonna just start walking towards the temple, I suppose. I guess we're going into this forest here.
Yeah,
Well, then I guess I walk across.
Silas and Alandra are already in forest, somewhere.
Yeah, we're inside the forest.
Somewhere in forest.
We
might
might
wanna
to go with
find
Valana look for them.
Silas.
Yeah.
And Alejandra.
Mara sort of teleports Valana to the other side, and there is a gout of dust and sand rises up where they arrive. They're absolutely visible. And as you arrive on the other side and you look around, you see an old couple huts and whatnot, maybe like a old abandoned settlement with the collapsed roofs and the collapsed fences around it. It seems to be abandoned for a long, long time. Okay. Silas, Alandra, I would like you to make a survival check to understand what the fuck you teleported into. Because the jungle is so dense, it's like tree on the tree, like with maybe a couple of feet of gap, like it's tight and confusing. Okay, with a 14.
Sorry.
With a 14, you and Silas come up with a different decision. Silas thinks that you need to go west, and you think you need to go north.
I think we should stay right where we are.
Yeah, let's wait for the others to get here.
Yeah.
What?
Wait, why is it sector easy? What?
I don't know who.
Oh. Sorry, I was trying to switch over to Mara and actually switched over to that one for some reason. Yeah, if it's more serious, I have access to Isa's sheet.
Like, oh god, where the hell did she come from?
How the hell do you have? Oh wait, you're DM. You shouldn't be looking at other characters.
I didn't mean to. I was switching over to my character's name on the thing and I
You
clicked
should
the
probably
wrong
switch
one.
yourself to player view.
Yeah.
I am in player view.
Then you
She
can do
had access to Isa's character sheet because she was replacing her long time ago.
Okay.
I was trying to move over to Mara and it just kind of Roll20 glitched on me and clicked the wrong one.
Okay. So moving on, you guys, as you gather up, you hear argument in the forest somewhere.
No, we're definitely not arguing. We're talking quietly in Infernal, literally.
Okay, sure.
Well, I think it's this way.
Corey,
Right.
which way, Corey, to the temple?
Quaylam, another survival check to delve through the jungle to the temple.
It's 3 p.m.
Okay. It's sort of confusing. You have never been into such area as jungle. And you usually figure out things in like urban areas and whatnot. This is a new experience, so you're a little bit out of it. And you start leading them into a wrong direction. Neo,
Yes.
a little like thug on your robe.
What is that?
Turn around, there is no one there. But it smells awful.
Huh? What? Let's see. Splinter, is that you? Well,
You see, like, he removes the invisibility spell on himself, and you see, like, a ninja mask on him. He is just peering through through it with his couple of orange eyes and says, "Shh, I'm undercover."
wonderful. Pat him on the head. Yes. We'll look around.
He says, "This place feels like home."
Yeah. A very sweaty, hot home.
Says, "You don't understand. This is exactly like home. Maybe it is home, I don't know."
So you come from a place like this, is what you're saying.
Yeah, says, "Very familiar."
Well, any advice on surviving in this area?
Says, "Get yourself a little bit more fish than usual. Eat more fish."
More fish. All right. That is grand advice. Thank you.
Says,
I'll pat him on.
says, "Follow me," and he kind of walks forward.
All right. I will follow him.
Okay. Quaylam, as you kind of drive to the right, maybe to like more of a eastern direction, you see Az and Neo splits off from the party and they walk into the northern direction.
They seem to know where they're going. Maybe
I
we
think
should
they
follow
do.
them and see where they're going.
Yeah.
Yes? Where are you
let's
going?
See where they're going.
Az is actually right now jumping like from liana to liana like a Tarzan, and cutting through the greens and whatnot, easily enough going through the jungle at the speed that is just fucking ludicrous.
Mia is slowly following behind.
Okay,
How
drive
do
to
you
Neo and
know
ask him
the
what's
jungle
going
so
on.
well as?
As is approximately like 120 feet away from you all at the moment, and he kind of looks back and waits on you.
Macy's gonna follow me up,
Ugh.
mostly
Yeah.
out of curiosity for the weird little thing.
Yeah, you actually didn't see him there, never before.
What is that weird little
Valana
thing?
is following us. That's
Okay.
given. That
Have you guys-
really came out a weird way.
That came out so bad.
Mara's
Yeah.
gonna yell. I'm gonna yell out. Az, have you been invisible this entire time since the underground?
Says, no, not all the time. Just from time to time. Yes. And he
What
kind
a
of jumps.
strange little creature.
And he kind of jumps on the nearest branch and grabs the bird and bites its head off and eats it.
Yes. I'm gonna guess he was not. I'm gonna guess he was raised by other goblins rather than people like the other goblins I know.
Birds are just
Yeah.
flying fish.
Yes, I will treat you to the biggest fish in Jol if you can help us find Alhandra and Silas.
And he kind of looks at you. He breathes in as much air as he can get and yells out, Silence! And the echo goes like through the forest. Silence! Silence!
Uh-oh.
Silas, you hear that, and it comes like from the northeastern direction.
Silas looks around and goes, I take it they're looking for us right now.
I take it they are.
We're just staying in one location so they can find us rather than just wandering around with our chickens with our heads cut off.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. I think that's a
Okay.
very good idea.
Okay, make a survival check with advantage, one of you.
Why?
Right? We're
Go
staying
to the
put.
direction of the...
We're staying put. You're not
Really?
moving.
You're not moving, okay.
No, we just said we're staying put.
It
Because
cut
we
off
don't
from
want to get lost. We don't want to get lost, so we're staying put.
Okay.
Okay. So he's like listening in for the answer.
We're over here!
I have
Okay.
the perfect way to find them.
Bill,
I write,
God
"You're a
help-
dummy" on a letter, and then I throw it into the air.
Okay.
Alright, let's just follow the letter.
Yeah, you see
He has a point.
Neo's like magical envelope starts flipping on the ground and moving in the direction into the forest, into the opposite side. But definitely has a course.
Damn smart. It's a smart little.
Maybe like in a couple of minutes or so, Salas and Alandra, you see that this letter kind of flips towards you and like flips to who you send it?
Silas.
On the Silas leg, like, you know, slap, 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 slap till he gets it into his hand.
Oh, what the hell?
Mara's gonna follow the letter.
Yeah.
And there are people coming out like around the trees, and you see your party actually found you because of this letter.
Yeah, Almandra eats and literally jumps and is turned bright red. Oops.
Hello.
There you are, sister.
Hey, Valana. Going
Did
even
you-
brighter red?
Did you have fun with us?
What do you mean?
Didn't we want to go? We were waiting for you guys to find us.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, tea time's over. Let's head to the temple. Tfsr can help us find it. That still comes out wrong. God dang it, Slava.
Oh.
So we wanted to go to the Warmonger Temple, right?
Yes. If only I could send a letter there.
You need a person to send it to.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know.
What is that thing?
And
I mean, Alundra could not go brighter red right now and heads off in the direction that you guys all came from.
Is there something wrong with her skin?
No, she's fine. She's fine. Just go with the light.
Maybe we
I
should.
think, I think she might.
Maybe you should find her some sun oil, Mio.
Yes, little aloe vera or something. Yeah.
Oh, that would be lovely, Mio. That would be lovely if you would do that, please.
hey,
Literally hurrying faster in the direction you guys come. Going in the right
Sun is
direction.
also moving off.
okay, so you gather up and follow the directions of Az. And maybe like in an hour or so, because you're moving at a slow pace, you get into what seems to be like another side of the volcano crater that is going up pretty much like straight up forward, and there is no way to, climb on it without equipment or anything, and you think you might need to detour it or find like an opening. And Az is actually like looking up and saying, "Wrong side."
Well, let's find the correct side then. My Valana voice is not working today, sorry.
So you start to skirt around the volcano, and you, as you go, you start hearing like humming noise coming from the distance, like silent, monotone hum, like that goes on, and as closer you get, like to the other side of the volcano, it goes louder and louder and louder.
Does anybody hear that? About like 5 minutes after it starts.
I just glare at Mio, then point at my ears.
Something's wrong with your hearing.
Does everybody hear the humming?
Yeah, everyone hears the humming.
Well, it's a little hard not to overhear, but a lot quieter and a lot quieter than she normally.
I heard it before you did.
Okay. And as you skirt around, you finally reach like an opening area that goes into a crater. Like one part of this volcano's crater was carved away. There is like some sort of a gate-like opening, and you see several people walking in pretty simple robes, like white and yellow robes, but pretty tattered, like withered and used. And they are walking outside of volcano, like waiting for something. And they are actually making like a circle, and they hum simultaneously all together. You can change your AC and DC using the top right corner cog, changing your nickname.
Thank you.
Okay.
That was easy.
So there's like approximately 15 people in the circle.
Have I seen magics of this type before?
It doesn't seem magical or anything. It's like a meditation or some sort of ritual.
Well, I guess I'll just go join them.
Okay. As you walk up to the circle, they kind of stop for a second. You join the circle and they continue to walk. And you
I
start humming.
followed.
Same.
I just followed them.
Yeah.
Okay, so you all go into the fucking circle and start humming?
I said I follow. I don't join. I follow.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you're kind of stuck into this in this circle, and it's like 15 minutes pass, 20 minutes pass, nothing changes.
Apparently we gotta do this for like 2 months, so.
And, well, and as you circle around, you like look through this opening, and you see in front of you a 3 towering like structures.
Oh,
What
wow.
seems to be carved out of volcanic stone. And the steps are going pretty high in that volcano. And there is a man, bald man, holding a staff in a golden and red robes with closed eyes, just standing on one leg in a frozen pose, just on top of the stairs. And you hum for an hour or so, and the sun is sort of getting down at this point. And as soon as the dawn comes up, people stop.
The dusk? Wait, hold on.
Dawn.
The dusk, I'm sorry. Yeah,
Not dusk.
Yeah, okay.
I mixed it up. So, and people stop. They stop humming, they stop walking, and they all turn around and bend their knee towards the...
I guess we'll just follow them. Apparently this is what we're doing now.
Apparently, yeah. Following the example. Wait, maybe following the example.
I'm going to walk up to the person on one leg.
Okay.
Lana is
I'm
going
just
to
standing
Even
follow
she-
shortly behind you.
She doesn't kneel.
Okay.
Amanda looks at him.
Hello?
That's what.
My internet connection is wonky. Give me a second. Do you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Just was disconnected from sort of like every other internet relatable program equipment. Okay, so and this figure on top of the stairs walks down closer, slowly, like almost floating over these stairs.
What up, Zenyatta?
He doesn't speak up. You see like 5 orbs floating around his head with symbols and whatnot. Holding a burning sphere in his hand. And you see it's not magic or anything, it's actually a burning stone, and it's kind of cooking up his hand.
Ow.
Like you see like a smoke coming off his tissues.
Valana steps up next to Mara and asks,
Mara bows
Is-
respectfully.
"This the Warmonger's temple?" She looks down at Mara and then looks back up, not really kneeling.
Okay. One of the people stands up and walks up to this monk. And the monk takes this burning sphere and puts it into this person's hands. He takes it and holds it until it starts like sizzling, burning down his hands and whatnot. But he's holding down his screams and him fainting, but he endures. And then he passes over this orb to another one and walks in to the temple by the stairs.
I will line up to do.
You will what?
I will line up and prepare to do the same thing as I do. To take the orb and hold it.
Alright. So several people do the same thing, and Alandra, I would like you to make a Constitution saving throw. As he drops a ball into your hands, he was not expecting. He was thinking it would be like hot as coal, but not. It's burning like you're on the surface of the sun. That's how hot this stone is. And you kind of yelp in pain.
I don't let it go.
Okay, you take 10 points of damage.
Right.
Fire damage. And you
And then
have...
I bite down sharply on my tongue and my lip, make sure that it make another sound. I refuse to give up.
Yelp up. You see here, the monk kind of opens his eyes slightly, and you see there is no iris. The eyes are purely white, glistening white, glowing eyes.
So
This-
that I will bite my tongue and refuse to make another.
And he kind of observing your next reaction. Make another Constitution saving throw for me, please.
I call.
I feel so bad for you.
Before I make a noise, I will bite the tip of.
Okay, you feel like this stone is burning through your skin, and you feel like your bones are already getting injured. That's how hot it is.
I look to him regardless. And
Okay.
he's not.
And you take another 10 points of damage. And he takes away the orb and just ushers you in to walk through the stairs.
I bow my head in respect and
Mara walks up to the monk and bows before holding her hands out to take the orb as well.
As soon as you bow, he bonks you on the head with the stuff. And just then shakes his head like, no. He puts a stone into your paws. Make a Constitution save.
bitch.
Mara has brands on her hands. This is nothing for her.
It hurts, but
No, she's wearing gloves. She has to take her gloves off.
yeah, you need to. So you take off the gloves and you hold it.
Yep.
And the fur starts burning off, like, from your paws. And you endure the pain. You used to get... He takes the sphere and just says, really, really quiet. It seems like it's almost a telepathy to you, but you hear it loud and clear. It says, don't bow to anyone. And he shows you the way to the stairs.
Mara
Fine.
nods and walks up the stairs.
Valana follows closely after Mara, just kind of roughing up her head, and then looks up to the monk.
He kind of looks at you and curiously, like, smiles. Like,
She smiles back, she starts removing her right gauntlet and hands out her hand.
he drops the ball. Make a Constitution save.
Let's hope all those years of training has been worth it. Yeah.
Enough. It is painful. It is painful. You take 5 points of fire damage. But you don't yell out. You just flinch a little bit. He waits for a couple of seconds, picks it up, shows you to the ladder.
I walk there.
So I was going to give it a go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He kind of looks at the stylus, and then throws up the sphere up into the air, takes another sphere, and it becomes absolutely cold.
Oh, so it's a freezing sphere.
Like type of a liquid nitrogen. That's how it is called, and he drops it into your hand.
Nudging Valana and whispering to
Okay, make your constitution save, Silas. Oh yeah, that's enough. It is freezing, like you get the goosebumps and, it hurts. You take 5 points of cold damage as you hold it. It's, like gets a feeling like the cold itself crawls into the inside of your bones and goes like through your veins, and you feel like your hand is going numb really, really quick. But immediately as you not flinch, he takes away the ball and throws it up into the air, takes back the fire orb, and levitates it again in his hand. Okay.
So far, everyone but Alejandra has not have any issues with this trial.
but she still didn't give up regardless.
Yeah, kudos by all means. Just
Okay.
And I was the first one who came up with the idea. You guys.
He kind of, as Fushina approaches, he kind of looks at her, thinks for a moment, and says, "I'm not your torturer. I will not give you the fire. I will not give you the pain." He kind of waits for a response. He kind of feels your general attitude against the flame. Amber, you there? Hello.
Oh, I'm doing Amber's typing. I'm typing up Amber's replies for her because she's not able to do it today.
You're
Which
able
is-
to answer it for her. Okay, it's not necessary to type it.
Exactly.
Fushina looks up, says,
Where'd Raylan go?
"Thank you, but
Okay.
if it is a trial, I still wish to attempt it before I am here to train as well."
Okay. He throws the sphere up and grasps another one, and it's just metal. There is nothing with it. He just puts it into your hand. And as soon as it drops, it doesn't feel painful like physically. But the general overflow of the emotions, like a punch to the heart, like something that, like you committed a murder or something like that, and you killed an innocent person. That kind of feeling flows over the heart of Fushina. I would like her to make a wisdom save. Okay. So she feels all this, but she understands that all of this is just a test. And he takes away the orb and says, "You may pass."
Fushina nods and enters.
And he's kind of looking through the crowd and points out to Mio.
Oh, well, yes. All right. I was just waiting. Yeah, Neil walks up with.
Okay, so you prepared a.
Yeah, he has like what his hand is just like undead hand.
Okay, I would like you to make a sleight of hand or stealth check.
Okay. I'm pretty good at stealth. I'll use stealth. Uh-oh.
Well, I might not have to roll, but 31 with a natural 20.
Uh-oh.
Oh dear.
I think he might have figured me out.
You're up crap creek, mate.
He kind of says,
Oh!
"This is hilarious," and he bonks you a little bit too hard with his staff on your head.
Ow!
Take 11 points of damage just from a little bonk.
Ow. Okay.
Now let's be serious. You came across the lands and seas to become part of this.
Of course. Yes. I just like scratch my back with the undead arm, and I'll hold out my real hand, I guess.
Says 2 hands.
Okay.
Grabs both the balls, the cold one and the fire one, and places them into your hands. Make 2 constitution saves.
Ah, this is really painful!
Okay. Yeah, like the first one you like, okay, I got this, and the second one is just like too conflicting, and you're like, ah!
I don't even understand what's going on!
Okay, make another one, constitution save.
Another one?
Yeah, to endure the ice sphere in your hand.
Oh,
You cannot. So you took off the about 30 points of damage.
okay.
Okay?
30?
Yeah, make a con save with advantage.
Alright.
Because you sort of don't feel the hand anymore. Yeah, like you finally balance yourself, and he takes off the spheres and says,
Ah,
"Be honest with yourself."
that was awful! That's what I honestly have to say. Why do you do this torture? I am. I'm going to just continue.
He looks over and says, "You want to be a warmonger? You need to endure pain easily."
Is that an easier way?
Says, "Training. But I need to know if you're even worthy."
I am worthy of anything and everything.
He kind of says, all right. I'll walk up the stairs. Okay,
Is his hands, like, damaged?
left hand is pretty much okay. It's burnt.
Uh-huh.
Like the skin is off. And the left hand, you think it's frozen. Like, absolutely frozen.
Uh-oh.
And
Why
if
didn't
you,
he take any damage?
he took 31 points of damage. God damn it.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah. And if you think if you just will try to flex your arm, a couple of fingers might break.
Uh-oh. He's just, like, crying, like, looking down at his hands. Oh, my God! What am I gonna do? I can't cast spells like this! Oh!
Shut your mouth and take it like everybody else has.
Really, you don't think you can cast spells when your hands are in pain?
One is frozen. It's really problematic to cast anything when this one hand is not functioning.
You can cast spells with one hand.
I'm in so much pain!
You only need one hand free in order to cast a spell.
Yeah, I know, but you need to hold the arcane focus on anything if you lose your dominant hand and whatnot. Anyways,
No, you still only need one hand to cast a spell.
Necro,
Guys, can we?
quit that. Newsy, Corellum, who goes next?
Don't think you guys get.
Can I just?
I'm gonna gesture for Colralum to go.
Can I
Okay.
just fork in as they do that? Bu, please make a con save as Valana takes you to your happy land.
That's not. That's a charisma, not con.
Sorry,
Charisma.
charisma.
Okay.
I'll prefer to make it.
So you give a possibility to Korelum, right?
Yes.
Okay, Korelum, as you walk up, he kind of looks over you and says something is wrong with you.
And how was that?
I don't know. He says, I only can tell that there's something is wrong. Says, but anyways, you're here for not to listen to my morals and whatnot. And he kind of drops the fire orb into your hand. Make a constitution save. Okay. You endure, you take 5 points of fire damage. Says, so maybe we can figure it out later. Says, roll along and takes away the sphere. So I believe only Nisi left, right?
Yep.
So, finishing the line, Nisi, you walk up. And he kind of understands that you're sorta shorter than him. He goes into the position of a lotus to get on the same level, like look into your eyes. Says, you don't want to be here, right?
Duty calls. They need training. I was selected. I will pass your test.
Says, I see. Says, don't take too much on yourself. Says, if you will try too hard, you might break.
Hello?
Willows don't break, they bend in the wind.
Says, an orb into your hand. Make a con save. It is painful, and this orb is bigger than you expected. Like for others, it's like a ball, tennis ball. For you, it's like a cannonball in your hand, and it's burning. You take 10 points of damage, and you like flinch and in pain. You didn't expect it to be that hot. Make another Constitution save. Okay. You take 10 another points, and you kind of even fall to the side as it burns your hand. And he says, focus. Concentrate. Make a con save with an advantage.
You don't have to tell me how to do that with roll 20.
Oh, just roll it again, man.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's every time it rolls 2 numbers, we take the better one or the worse one, depending on advantage or disadvantage. So 18. Yeah, you get used to it and kind of look calmly now on the ball. It hurts, but you can endure. And he takes it away and says, "Follow me."
She follows him.
He stands up and he walks several steps on the ladder, and you hear a cackling voice comes behind from you like, "Hey, you stupid moron!" And the monk kind of slowly turns around and says, "Does the wind play tricks on my hearing?" And you see like his robes go like someone is invisibly climbing on the ropes. One bow goes like into the side, and you hear a loud like bonk, and the monk like flinches. He was hit on his head out of nowhere, and you see a goblin sitting on top of his shoulders. Like, where are your manners? Since when you torture people, you stupid asshole? And he kind of looks up. His eyes go wide, and he kind of says, oh, that cannot be. A goblin jumps down and walks on the stairs and turns around, sits on one of the stairs, and he says, Master Mind Splinter, is that you?
Mind Splinter?
Yeah. And he kind of says, it's good to be back. And you see the form of the goblin just shifts and changes into a form of a large,
What?
hulking man.
Very.
That's weird.
Give me a moment.
I'm sorry, what?
I think as Splinter just turned into something else. Mind Splinter. Something.
I'm sorry, but why do I picture a rat right now?
You're not alone. I want to be a turtle
I called it at
now.
the very beginning. I called it when we first encountered us. I said he's gonna be some sort of Yoda-like figure in Disney. I
I,
called it.
I,
Back in character, guys. Back in character. It was my fault.
Give me a second. Okay. Load up picture, please. It's so stupid. Roll20 doesn't want to. So you see his figure changes into a young, masculine, somewhat Asian-looking person covered with tattoos, wearing no shirt. He is taller than the monk, and it seems masculine and, trained.
Oh, Alundra's definitely looking twice. I am definitely looking twice and enjoying the view.
Sorry, you didn't does name what?
Just give it a second. Boop boop.
Sorry, did you lay that for me?
There he is.
So you see us turn into that.
I'm looking 3 times, maybe a 4th time.
I can't see it right now, and I can't see it right now, so... Question, can anyone hear me right now?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Nobody was acknowledging me, so I thought I might have crashed.
Okay, let's fix your issues. We'll go on. And he kind of sits down on the stairs, stands up, says, I'm sorry guys, I played a trick on you. But wasn't it fun? I always...
Silas can't probably morph and turn back into a goblin.
What's your DC?
My DC is 16.
Okay.
He is a monk.
13.
Natural 20 with a 33 as a wisdom save.
Oh.
He kind of says, that's adorable. He kind of turns back to the monk. Says, hey, I don't remember I have permitted such a thing as a ritual of ascending. Says, why do you do this to this temple? Just cannot keep to traditions or something? I was missing for like several decades, not much for the temple at all. And I come back and I cannot recognize my home. The bold monk is like bowing down his head and puts his hands on the ground and says, I'm sorry, master, it will not happen again.
I have to ask a question. Why were you eating so much rotting fish as a goblin then?
He's kind of looking at you and says, I have been in the guises of many creatures. I've been a kobold, I've been a dwarf, I've been a goblin, I've been a bird, I've been a dinosaur.
But why?
Well, how do you know life if you don't try it for yourself? As a part of the life circle.
Actually turning bright red when he mentions that.
Wait, what? Mentions what?
Anyway, Kincaid says, so, you guys decided to attend to my temple. This is fun. I can train you personally.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Does this mean I do not have to pay you in fish for favors?
Come on. Wasn't it fun? He kind of looks at you and winks.
She actually smiles back.
Yes. I don't appreciate getting killed. Well, I pretended to be dead. So I believe I owe you some diamonds. And he kind of goes through his pouch and puts out like a bunch of diamonds into your hand.
There you go.
I guess.
So you get about 300 to 400, well, let's say 350 worth of small diamonds. Says, I was watching you. You had a potential. You all, I mean. I didn't expect you to go back to my home. Was the only place that I didn't want to return to until I don't know. And he kind of changes his voice back to Goblin and says to me, becomes the best minion of the Necromancer. Says, well, but everything good ends, it seems.
You're a very strange man, aren't you?
Okay, so Theo comes back. Alright.
So it was fun. Imagine yourself being here for centuries. Nothing changes. What's your question?
You're asking that to whom?
Who has a question?
Mara had a question.
Oh, Mara.
Mara said, I had some friends that would absolutely love you.
You're sort of quiet. I need to turn you up a little bit.
She has some friends that would absolutely adore him.
Basically, I'm referring to Rue.
Says,
Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely.
I'm not aware of it, but he says, welcome to the Warmonger's Temple.
Place is impressive.
Oh, no. This is not the most impressive part. And he kind of says, come on, reveal it. The bald guy's like, are you sure? Yeah, absolutely. Just go and do the thing. Okay. All right. As you say, master. He gets up and goes through the gates, opens the gates and pulls some sorts of a mechanism, and the whole temple vanishes.
Okay.
And you're standing just in the middle of the crater, right on the surface of cold, molten rock.
Oh.
Impressive!
Temple is not real. Temple is in your mind.
So I'm standing on my brain.
No.
Yes.
Sort of, you might say so. Says this place was destroyed like 55 times. And we decided to not build it up again. We just made it magically appear when we need.
Yeah, that's not really your minds then. That's just plain teleportation.
No, it's not real. Absolutely not real. But imagine you can step on your imagination. Walk on it, live in it, sleep in it if you want.
Then at that point, it's not an imagination; it's reality.
No, it's still the imagination, because sometimes it's the only way to get away from the pain.
Says, but yeah, training. He says, training.
Yeah.
I need to warn you. I know you're sort of capable. I saw you fight, and I saw you fight between each other as well. But the trials are not easy ones. I would warn you, there is a possibility to die trying to accomplish them.
Ah,
I'm not afraid of dying.
So it's like, alright, if you are willing to comprehend the magical stability when you're casting in battle, he kind of shows you, he goes into the stance, and you see when you cast a spell, there is like an arcane circle forming around your hand. And he produces a circle, and there is like another circle engulfing the original one, like protection one. Says, this is what you will reach when you finish the training. There will be no possibility, well, or absolute, like almost no possibility, breaking your concentration in battle.
oh, that sounds wonderful. He claps his hands together and is like, ow!
Yeah. And like
Yeah.
pinky falls off.
Oh! No! I need that back.
Slava, I actually disbelieve the damage to my hands. I actually refuse to believe that I was injured.
Kind of looks at you and just, no, the hands are absolutely real. This idiot tortures people with the fucking boiling and cold balls.
By the power of the one, let my wounds be healed.
So, what was the traditional initiation?
Oh, he says, simply enough, we have a set of trials, actually 3 trials. Trial by water, trial by wind, and trial by fire.
Well, I don't have all day. Let's get this done then.
Says, you will not complete the trials in one day.
Just ignore him. He likes to whine.
Yeah,
He's nothing but hot air.
Like, I know,
if you have any banish spells, I can tell you about this happy place. If you want him to just leave the conversation for a while. I've used my magic for it though already.
and he kind of walks up to Mio, like slaps him on the shoulder and says, he's my favorite one. Why do you think I would want him to be in a corner? I have so much fun with him.
Walking over to Mio and placing my hand on his shoulder, and quietly whispering to him, I think you could use a bit of this. May the faceless one take away the pain and cast in a cure wounds on him as well.
Okay.
Yeah. He says, so, what of the trials you choose to go through first?
Fire.
Oh yeah.
I was gonna say wind.
So everyone picks their own trial.
Yeah,
Passing points for Mio.
Okay.
Is there like a trial of beach?
He kind of looks at you and says, yeah, you can say so. That's maybe a trial of water.
Well, I suggest we go with that one. Yes, thank you.
Okay. Says, you need to choose.
I choose wind.
To stay with my choice of fire.
I'll go with fire as well.
Of course you do.
Well, it makes sense, really.
Do we do the trial together or separately?
Well, says, depends on your confidence.
Well, I'm 100% confident.
He's doing fine first.
He kind of says, then you will be doing it alone.
Wonderful. When do we begin?
Now, and he kind of claps his hands, and
I will stand alone.
there is like a pulse of energy, and Neo is poof, gone.
I will stand alone.
Sheena also looks up. I would also like to do the trial of first.
The trial of what?
The trial of air wind.
He says, Neo is going alone. Do you wish to be separate from him?
Yes.
Yes.
Claps his hands again, and the Mara is gone.
No, that was me doing as Sheena.
Oh, it was Sheena. Okay. So she goes away.
I'm pretty sure Mara and Valana are going together.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, for you, trial of the water?
Trial of wind.
Okay. Says, alone?
Me and Valana would like to go together.
Alright.
It's just like, can I just do them all at the same time? Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
We decided to split the party now in 3 pieces? Okay.
I look to Silas. Okay. I wish the trial of fire, and I must do it on my own.
You sure?
Yes, Silas, I'm sure. This is the path
Yeah.
I,
I'll
This
be
is the
doing it
path.
then as well.
this is the path I must walk. For now. For now.
Okay. So, Neo, Fushina, Mara, Valana, you're at the wind. Silas, Alandra, you're at the fire.
Yep.
Where are you? Krylan, where are you?
I'm actually declining. I
Mhm.
want a different path than the others.
Okay. Says, like, then I suppose you would be returning back to the camp. He says, there is nothing to do here if you don't want to train.
I train differently than the others. I'm
Says-
alone.
He says, good, good. He looks back to Nisi. Nisi? What's your choice? Kasana? You there?
Macy's gonna look at him and go, "Can I train before I take these trials?"
Says, this is a part of the training. The trials are giving you the possibility to reach the result that you're looking for. He kinda looks at you and says, are you interested at all in this kind of a training?
Not particularly. I suppose the water might be useful, but I'm more stealth and subterfuge than,
Okay,
well, what you guys have shown.
alright. So, he says, then we will drink. And he whips out like a magic spell and casts, he puts out like a little goblet covered in many gems, and it seems to be golden. He kind of flicks it into the air, and the goblet spills out a table covered with multiple types of food, drinks, and whatnot. It's large, maybe like for 12 people. Says, sit down, let's talk and feast. And he sits down and takes fish up and takes and says, no, enough fish. swaps to the chicken.
Nisi sits with him and has chicken.
He's
I
like,
sit down as well.
be my guest. And he kind of says, your friends now will experience something that they not expect. Neo,
Yes.
you blink for a second,
Mm.
and you immediately feel yourself falling from a probably like 3,000 feet. And you're gaining speed.
Mm.
The wind blows into your face, and like ash and dust is starting to carve through your flesh as you go down.
Ow.
And you look down and you see you're falling into the crater of the volcano, but not the one that sleeps, the one the temple is in. There is a gout of lava and smoke and flame erupting right in the spot where you're falling to.
Uh-oh. Featherfall is not gonna work here. I'm going to attempt to cast Fly.
Okay, I need you to make an Arcana check because you're kind of like not falling like in a parachute situation. You're falling and flailing in the air.
Yeah, alright. Arcana check? Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So you fall approximately like 600 feet until you manage to cast a fly on yourself, and you see the circle that you was casting this magic was sort of little bit expands, like a little outline adds to it.
Uh-huh. Cool.
And you blink for a moment and you fall again.
What? This is impossible!
So, but you feel like your spells are there. You didn't spend it. Like it's endless. And you cast it again and again and again until,
I see. And, when I start getting close to the fire, I'm going to dimension door up 500.
Okay. So it repeats and repeats and repeats, like you still there and just falling and, practicing this moment, like keeping concentration in this stressful situation and whatnot. And you see the circle is so slowly growing, and you start to understand why it is a training. Because you are in impossible situation and you need to maintain the concentration. Okay. Let's jump to Fushina. Fushina, you appear on the mountaintop.
Okay.
And you see, like you're standing on the jagged peak of it, and it's covered with snow. And as you appear, the wind starts to blow the snow into your face, and it's cold, it's freezing. And for the plant life, it is painful, and some sort of destructful, I would say. And the wind goes louder and stronger each second as you stay there, and it starts to get to your bones. Do Fushina has bone? I don't know.
It's more like the interior of a tree. That's like, how there's the rings as you go down.
Okay. So it pierces you through. Let's say this. What you will do? If you think on it, we'll switch to Valana and Mara. Valana and Mara, you find yourself in a tornado inside of a one. You're swirling and spinning inside of it, holding your hands together, like floating in the air. And debris, stones, and pieces of broken sticks and shards of whoever knows what starts to clatter into your face, and it is a horrible, painful experience. What you guys gonna do?
Balana casts Shield of Faith on Mara to try and help.
Okay.
And Mara's going to cast crap. What did you say again? What's happening? I kind of missed for a second.
Okay, as a shield forms across Mara's body, and you see like some debris collide into a shield and bounce off. It helps a little bit, but it's still kind of problematic to keep it up as you swirl and get hit with the stones and whatnot. In this turn.
Mara's going to just stand in the way to protect Valana while casting the shield spell to protect herself over and over again.
Okay. As you do that, you see like a shimmering purple, like purple bluish shield erupts from your hand, and it's really, really problematic to keep it up because the amount of projectiles going into your face, it's just endless. Alright, and for Fushina?
Fushina's going to be casting protection from energy cold to just kind of keep the cold away from her body as long as she can.
Okay. She sits there, freezing on the mountaintop. Back to the table. Says... Mind Splinter says, well, they are doing fine, but I'm a little bit concerned about the contestants who selected the fire trial. Alondra.
Yes.
Silas. You find yourselves in a giant jagged cave. Let me see. That should be appropriate.
Wait, together? Considering we both wanted to do it separately?
Yeah.
Oh my god, I'm so itty bitty!
Yeah. This is the size of the cave.
No, I meant I was very tiny, now I'm the same size.
So, you find yourself on a long bridge going into some sort of a scaled door with a vortex inside of it. And the environment around you seems like the heart of a volcano with the jagged spikes all directed into your general location. As you stand on this platform, you see Silas not far away from you. What you guys do?
So we're on this platform's in the fiery place, so... what do we need to do here?
We have to find our way.
Oh.
We asked each to be separate, why did they put us together? Did we miss something?
As you try to speak to each other, Silas, you don't hear Alondra. Alondra, you don't hear Silas.
How far away is she?
About 20 feet. You see her mouth is moving, but there is no sound.
He's going to ritual cast telepathic bond.
There is like a spark flying to Alondra to, like establish the connection. But as soon as it flies like 10 feet, it breaks into a barrier. and then you realize that between you there is an invisible wall that separates you from each other.
Is it warm in here?
It is not warm, it is boiling hot.
I will sit cross-legged on the ground, and I will focus on inner calm. Literally, just focus first on calming my mind, because you cannot concentrate on the outside. You cannot calm the inside.
Okay.
Silas just looks around. Can he see anything in more detailed, or?
Make a perception check.
16.
As you look around and try to understand what the fuck is this place, there is not much things of interest, but you actually manage to perceive that the spikes that are going from the walls are slowly growing, and they are filled like inside with lava, so they are like a syringes with lava inside, and they are slowly growing into your general direction.
So we're just on platforms, right?
Yeah, it's like a platform, like a tunnel, covered with spikes. And the back of the wall covered with the same spikes, and the other side is that opening with a portal, scaly door.
Yeah. So I was going to start walking towards the door,
Okay.
keeping an eye out as he does.
You walk towards the door and nothing happens, you just walk towards it. As you get closer, you see a black vortex, like a spiraling inwards black hole, like a siphon, goes deeper into this door.
Can I do an Arcana check on it?
Yeah, sure. Try it. You're pretty comfortable here for a moment, but
Oh, wow.
like, looking at the thing and like, well, this is weird. You never saw such a portal. Maybe.
So I was gonna grab a rock off the ground and throw it in and see what happens.
Okay. You throw the rock. There is like a sucking noise, like, and the rock vanishes.
Hmm.
When Alondra actually reaches a state of inner calm, she will stand up and walk to the door.
Okay. You walk up closer to the portal, and Silas is inspecting it, like scratching his head.
It's very important. Is she in an absolute calm state of mind?
Yeah, you're pretty calm.
Okay, then I'm going to walk through the door.
All right. Alondra approaches the doorway. You kind of stand there, and she vanishes into the abyss with a swirl. You see, like, she jumps in, and you see, like, the hand that is sort of sticking out of the portal twists in unnatural manner, and you hear a noise like a breaking bone, and it vanishes. You take 25 points of damage.
Mm-hmm.
Hand is broken. And I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Yes! Finally!
You know, like, but as you arrive on the other side of this portal, there is really, really dim light around you. There's a large opening, like a dome-like opening. You see your hand is broken, but you immediately, like, focus and grab your hand and, hold it in place. to not make it worse.
Silas is going to cast Resilient Sphere on himself and then roll into it.
Mhm.
You're into all physical and magical damage. Pretty much nothing can hurt you when you're inside a Resilient Sphere.
Mhm. 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 Yep.
Mhm.
So you push the sphere through the thing, and it kind of wobbles, but resists. But as soon as the thing starts to swirl, you kind of start rolling inside of it, like like hamsters running in a wheel. Like the same thing. You just pressed against the barrier itself, and like, and you roll out on the other end, and like with the dizzy head, like. Ugh.
So I just like stands up, just trying to stop the world from spinning.
Okay.
Oh, God, never doing that again.
Okay. Oh boy. I hope
I
you understand me.
Yeah.
That was your decision.
Pardon?
Give me
Oh shit.
a moment. I'm transferring you to the other map. Poo-poo. There you go. So, you find yourself in a some sort of a cavern. You hear the bubbling of the lava and distant, like grinding noise, maybe like something just growling from afar. You see Alondra holding her hand broken, like a whip, hanging down.
She's ignoring it. So I'm focused on keeping my.
Yeah, I understand. And you turn around and you still see the vortex behind you. Bum, 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 bum. So what you guys gonna do?
I guess I was going
I
to start
want to
rolling
try
balls.
unloved local seafood. That's the very
Okay.
definition of underground. A huge clan called.
As you walk forwards, you hear, like, as closer you get to the middle, as it gets louder and louder, and you hear this noise that is coming, the grinding noise. It's actually a snoring of something large.
I take out a coin and flip it.
Nothing happens.
Not supposed to. I haven't rolled yet. Yep. Looks like she's curious enough. She will advance it.
Nothing happens.
I just want to move so I can see what is making the loud noise.
Yeah, so you move in closer, and there is like a pool in the middle of this dome-like room that is bubbling with lava, and behind the pool you see a fiery, large, giant, ancient dragon sleeping on the floor. He is covered with the similar spikes that were in a tunnel, and they are all burning with magma.
So I was going to go over and look over the edge of the magma pool, see what's in there.
Okay, make a perception check. Looking in the lava, nothing appears to be there.
I take a peek as well.
Okay. As you approach the lava, I need you to make a con save again. For Silas, it's okay because he is a tiefling. He is resistant to fire. He's pretty comfortable here, but not you.
Oh, it is.
Huh?
Sorry.
So you kind of like flinch a little bit, but proceed to look inside. Make a perception check. Okay. You see a small, similar ball inside of this lava pool. The similar ball as the bold guy, the bold monk that greeted you, was holding at the entrance.
I try to see if I can reach out to it with my mind.
It is approximately 10 feet away from you.
Hmm.
Actually, so okay, so I
focus
think
on
over.
it.
Oh, I was about to say. So I think over check to see if the barrier's still there.
Barrier? Which one?
The barrier that was between him and Alejandro.
What?
The barrier that was between him and Alejandro before.
Ah, yeah. Sure, it's there. You try to approach Alendra, and as soon as you try to, like, touch her, there is a barrier, like, bam, bam.
Okay then.
Okay, so Alendra, what will you do?
As I said, I try to reach out to the ball
Over.
with my mind.
You're kind of closing your eyes and
Sorry.
trying this, or what?
I focus on it and literally try to push my thoughts and the magic that I have within me towards it, seeing if I can somehow make contact with it or something.
Okay, make an intelligence check.
I'm guessing it wouldn't bring anything. I'm just testing.
As you close your eyes and kind of focus and try to reach in to this thing, you feel like a presence, and not like you're reaching to the ball and it's getting closer, but you get an understanding of what it is. You feel a direct connection of this fire sphere to that sleeping dragon. And you see Silas casting something.
Actually, I don't, because I stay focused on my task.
Okay.
And I tried to connect with it, similar to what I did when I followed back the connection to my god. I focus on that and literally follow the connection.
Make another intelligence check. Not the save. Check.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, it's still, you're not proficient, so it doesn't matter, actually.
Exactly. I'm proficient in neither.
Okay, so with a 15, you do understand that it is somehow keeping this dragon at bay. You're not reaching towards it like in control of it or anything. You're just understanding
I don't want to control it. I just want to understand.
It's somehow keeping the dragon at bay.
Why would it keep the dragon at bay?
So I was going to look at the dragon. Does there seem to be anything out of the ordinary about anything like near it? Is it in front of something?
It is lying beneath some sorts of small, like, geyser-like volcano, and the lava pours over the dragon's body, but nothing around him, nothing in front of him. It's just a bare cave with the lava openings. That's it.
Hmm.
Is there any way I can reach it? I start focusing on seeing if I can draw it to me, maybe in some way.
Well, tell me. In what way you're trying to reach it? It's 10 feet
10
away.
feet from me, correct?
Yeah.
Do I have my equipment with me?
Yeah.
Actually, that's...
Have your backpack with you, so.
Yeah, that's all I wanted to know.
So I was thinking I was quarters up and see if you can like use it to pull it out towards him. Why is there a circle there?
Well, that's your hut.
I said I accidentally clicked it about 3 times.
Yeah, I didn't hear you, man.
Don't bite each other's heads off, guys.
Still,
How far above the lava is the orb?
it is on the surface.
Right on the surface. Okay, so... if I jump to that...
Like maybe halfway.
Is it to be floating there or?
No, it's like just laying down there, like half under the lava, half above the surface. Okay, figure this out.
Yeah.
Well, you didn't answer whether I could use my quarterstaff to reach out and like try to bob it towards me.
Quarter stuff is not 10 feet long.
Yeah, but that was also my arm's reach.
Yeah, let's say this. You may try, but it's not gonna like bring it to you. You maximum can reach out and push it towards one of the directions.
Yeah, he's gonna see if he can try to push it towards Alejandro.
Okay, make a dexterity check.
18.
Yeah, you like stand on one foot and push it a little bit. It sort of slumps over a couple of times and maybe like 2 feet moved towards Alandra. And your quarterstaff catches on fire and starts to burn on the end.
He's gonna snap his fingers and cast control flames to put the fire out.
Okay.
He's gonna grab her up and try to see if that's stopped by the barrier.
What are you doing?
He's gonna grab like a rock and try to throw it at the barrier, see in between them, see if he can throw something across the lava.
Throw the rock, and it almost gets to Alandra's face, and then it bounces off.
Okay, so he can walk around the area.
You cannot, basically, you cannot do anything together. That's the restriction.
That was our choice.
You cannot influence each other. That's how it works.
Okay. Yeah, if he's pushed it towards 100, can he go around here and see if he can use the stick to try and bop it the rest of the way?
You may try. Dexterity check.
16.
Okay, with a 16, you kind of move it several feet more. It's sort of heavy, and it rolls in this dense molten rock, and the staff is getting shorter and shorter each second, like it's just charring down with each attempt. And you pull it out with like it was 6 feet long. Now it's like 3, but the ball itself is like maybe in 5 feet away.
It's only 5 feet away. Can I reach out and just grab it?
It's risky. You can fall in, but you can.
Let's get a bit closer first.
But a computer.
Woohoo! Woohoo!
I take the
Can I
long.
ready a bonus action spell? Slava.
What?
Can I ready Misty Step? Jump over, jump into it, grab the orb, and Misty Step back onto the land.
I believe you can only prepare action.
Okay, then can I prepare a dimension door and use that to get back onto land?
Yeah.
Okay. He's gonna jump into the lava, grab the orb, and dimension door back into the land.
Oh, that will definitely require a dexterity check.
I want to cast a guidance on myself.
You try to cast guidance, it fails.
On myself.
Yourself,
Mhm.
it goes easily.
I don't want to cast it on Silas. I cast it on myself.
Okay, it does work. So, Silas, you jump in, like swipe the ball outside, out of the lava. It hurts badly. You take 25 points of damage, but you dimension door it out. And you see your fingers are, like burned to the bone in 1 second.
So the ball is now in the hands of Silas, correct?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So I was probably going to. Yeah, you're gonna grab the bit of the. Yeah, with his hands burning like that. Yeah, so he goes into the bone, but he's got the orb.
Mhm.
Can I do an Arcana check on it? See what we can do with it. What's the thing we might be able to do with it?
Mhm. You definitely can. You look at it. It has an evasive, an evasive nature to itself, and the troop items you somehow. But you get that it is a similar thing that that monk used. Maybe you need to get it back to him. But as you inspect it, it starts burning even more, because it's still still hot from the molten rock, and you kind of drop it on the ground.
Yeah. So he's kind of missing a hand.
Oh, it's like you have like a half skeletal hand at the moment.
Okay, so yes, so I'm just gonna start looking around to see if there's a way out.
There is only one way out, as you can see. The vortex.
I look towards the dragon.
He is seemingly not reacting to your appearance. Sleeping.
So with so there's literally no other way out except for the portal.
Everything else is jagged walls, maybe like naturally formed cave.
Okay. Are those jagged still closing in?
Mm-mm. This one seems to be stagnant, not moving.
Yeah, using his singed hand, so I was gonna pick up the orb and start walking back to the portal, I guess.
Okay. At this point, you have like a mess of a hand, and the orb does not cool down, and each step you make, you feel like it's burning. So there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 points of damage till you reach the thing, the
Okay.
vortex.
Oh god, I'm down to 15 HP. So I'm just gonna drop the orb on the floor there for now and look over to Alejandra to see what she's doing.
You look back and you see Alundra is kind of wondering and looking at the dragon, like inspecting him. As you approach Alundra, you kind of trying to sneak up on it, or just
No.
plain?
I just walk towards it,
Okay.
always keeping a calm mind.
You see it sort of opens one eye as you approach. And you see his gaze just slowly moves in your direction. But he's still lying on his feet, like crossed.
I continue to approach slowly, not breaking eye contact with it. I seek eye contact.
All right. I would like you to make a general charisma check.
Well, I had to fail on one roll eventually.
And he kind of, as you approach, you see like his breathing intensifies, like.
Taking a step back. But
As you
staying
step
calm.
back, picks up his head from the ground, shakes his head and neck, like you see like falling from his body, like chunks of lava and whatnot, debris.
You're a creature of great beauty and great age.
He kind of looks at the pool and then looks back at you, and you hear, in common, he says only one word.
Uh-oh.
I have touched nothing.
Okay, guys. He kind of walks towards you, looks in your eye, like dead in your eye.
I've already sought the contact. I've not touched it.
Persuasion.
Well, considering I'm not lying.
Yeah, it's persuasion.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. Boop. Just give me a moment. Whisper. Does it whisper though? Okay. +8. Says give it back. And
I
he
do
kind of approaches
I know who has it.
He just picks you up into his claw, brings you up to his eye level, says, "Give it back!" And you see like lava pouring out of his mouth, and the heat actually washes over your face.
Yeah. At this point, Simon's probably going to drop the orb on the ground. Let's see.
I do not have the orb.
Well, actually, he can do it from over here. Actually.
I looked at the orb. I did not touch it. If that means I have to die, then so be it.
He,
I cannot
looks,
return what I do not have.
he hears the clattering sound of the orb across the tunnel, and he brings you with him towards Silas.
Yeah. Yeah, but as he like turns to look at Silas,
True.
you probably sees him slipping on a glove.
So,
And as it's like walking towards him, he's going to cast Arcane Hand and just punch this dragon in the face.
Oh god.
okay, I suspect we need to roll initiative for this
This
situation.
is back when he was over here, by the way. So, yeah, he was doing this before he started walking.
Okay.
Again, isn't he starting over here?
What do you say?
I said he did it while he was still the dragon was over there.
Over where? I don't see where you point.
Back where he started. Back where he was, where he first
Basically,
picked me up.
once he picked out 100 up and started roaring at that's when he cast it and just punched it and punched the dragon.
Okay. So you summon Digby's hand?
Yeah.
Alright. I would like you to roll the attack for
Okay.
Digby's hand.
He's going to use grasping hand and have it grab its claw and just start squeezing. Actually, how big is this? Is this huge or gargantuan?
He is gargantuan.
Okay, never mind. He's just gonna punch. He's gonna punch it.
Okay.
So, what's the accuracy of this thing? 1d20 plus 6, plus 8, I think. Hold on.
Yeah, the strength is 8, so roll a d20. Add 8, and your spell attack modifier, I believe.
Yep. Which is 9.
Okay, spell attack modifier, not all the fucking spell thing. Spell attack bonus.
Yeah, spell attack bonus plus 9.
Your modifier, not a bonus. So basically your casting ability is charisma?
Yeah, no,
So
it's intelligence, so 5.
So 5, yeah.
So minus
Yeah,
5.
still hits!
Yeah. For 48 force damage.
Okay. Dealing 19 points of damage to this thing. Okay. And minus 19, you say, right?
Yeah, 19 force damage.
You summon the hand and it slides and smacks him right into his chin. And he kind of like reels back. And looks back at the hand, looks back at the source that it could be coming. And looks back at Alondra and says, Deceiver.
I've not lied to you.
Uh-oh.
He goes, actually, she wasn't lying. I have your stupid audio oversized gecko.
You haven't heard what I've said.
Okay. He turns around. I would like you to make a dexterity save as he... Oh, Silas.
Okay.
He turns around, bringing Alondra with him. He
20.
breathes in and breathes out a flame.
Ah, shit.
Go through the floor. Go through.
That was a little short.
So like, well, I just entirely.
Yeah, the special effects are not. Okay, and I believe that will deal you a shit ton of damage. Come on, open up. So like
20.
So dex save, you pass your dex save, it's okay, and then you have resistance to the fire damage, so the damage is quarter, yeah. So 26d6 damage.
What?
26d6.
Okay.
Mini D6s.
Do I roll that or?
Yeah, I will roll it. Just... Yeah, so quarter of that?
25. I am at 2 HP.
Get through the fucking portal.
It's a... Yeah, 25, let's say 25. Okay.
7, 8,
Well, it's a quarter of a quarter.
9,
so
10, 11.
25.
Yeah.
12, grab, run.
You see, like, Silas is... I, by the way, need you to make a Constitution saving throw to maintain Bigby's hand.
Okay. 3.
Your hand goes poof. And the ancient dragon is kind of stomping towards you, finishing his way up to you, and reaches with another claw standing on his tooths and... The sphere!
Why do you keep calling me that?
He sort of confused looks at you. Why did you roll initiative again?
I haven't rolled initiative.
You just rolled it again, I rolled it for everyone.
No.
She wasn't on the initiative in the first place.
You... Mm-hmm.
I don't have initiative.
It is 12, I don't know, it's over there, right there.
Okay, it's not showing here. I'm sorry, I got that. I got the chat side covered with my character sheet.
Mm-hmm. Easy enough. So it's your turn, Alondra. What you gonna do?
Can only hope that Silas is smart enough. Can I use Shadow Step?
Yep.
I will Shadow Step to the sphere. I will grab it and I will go through it.
Okay. You grab the sphere and do you do what?
Go through the portal. I attempt to go through it.
Okay. The dragon kind of looks at you as you leave with the sphere.
I never had it until now.
Yeah. He kind of looks at you and says, I will hunt you down as you go into the portal and vanish. I would like you to make a con save.
Yeah. going to be.
Yeah, you're actually fine. You're actually fine. So, Silas, you're alone here.
He's going to resilience sphere, then roll back into the portal.
Do you have the slots for resilience here?
I have three. I have three of them. It's a level.
Okay. I'm just asking.
You gotta work out how the fuck I
Okay, you make a resilience sphere and run into the portal, and as you kind of roll away, the dragon is kind of like smashing the sphere with his claw and trying to bite on it and breathe on it, smack it with the tail as you try to leave.
It just pinballs him into the portal.
So you get away and take the sphere with you.
Feel this was the wrong decision, but it was the only thing I could do to protect Silas.
Yeah. You both reappear. Come on, Glyph, remove it. God damn it. So you both reappear near the temple. You, Olandra, and Silas.
Yeah, Sergeant Superman's like, as he gets back, he's going to look at his hand. Is it still singed?
Silas is so small!
Yeah, you're feeling like you're destroyed at the moment.
Ow! Ow! Okay, even that's too much fire even for me. Ow!
Yeah.
And you see Nisi, Qualam are actually drinking, laughing, like telling jokes and whatnot. Eating. And he kind of looks around at you and says, "Oh, you're already back," and kind of chews on the piece of pork, puts it down. "Give me the sphere."
Ignoring him and going to Silas, placing a hand on him, and yeah. By the power of the one, let your wounds be healed. Cure wounds.
Okay.
Whisper and saying to him our arrow was not working together.
He kind of waits. Yeah, he will be fine. He will be absolutely fine. Says.
Sure about that? Because I'm missing most of my hand right now.
Don't.
He kind of thinks for a moment and says, "You do have that little green thingy. The regeneration stone. I know everything about you. You do know that it will help you as soon as Valana comes back. Well, if she comes back."
Clarinet.
I thought you said this place wasn't sadistic.
No.
He kind of says, "I was not greeting people with such a thing. Yeah, it's everything in your mind, but it's up to you how your mind goes against you. See, Alandra is almost unsinged. Well, the portal is real, actually, so, and the
My
dragon."
mind was weak at that moment. That's why I bear the injury.
You see how Alandra has her hand, like, broken and just fangs.
I literally ignore the broken hand.
Yeah, but everyone sees that situation.
I look at him and said, the only reason I have this is because my mind was weak at that.
Exactly. That's what I was saying all the time. He kind of says, "Sit down, drink, eat."
I actually keep the sphere in my hand.
Honestly,
It hurts.
Yeah. He goes, "Honestly, I would like a bucket of cold water, please."
He says, "Sure." He snaps his fingers and a bucket of cold water pours down on your head. Out of nowhere, like, materializes.
You're an arse, you know that?
I
put the sphere on the ground next to me, then put my hand on Silas. Stop.
He says, I didn't pick the name as a representation of something else. I did follow my character, he said.
Silas, if we're to succeed here, our minds must remain calm.
He kind of picks up the orb, puts it on the glass in the middle of the table. Says, so, let's wait for the others. Let's see how they will do.
I will succeed.
He says, I'm not sure about that. So, Mio, you plummet again towards this volcano.
Okay.
And you repeat this situation that it was doing like several times. But then something changes. You hear volcano starts to rumble.
Uh-oh.
And it gulps out a splash of lava and dexterity.
Dexterity?
Dexterity, yes.
Alright. Uh-oh.
Okay. Um, you take 46 points of fire damage
Oh, that's okay. That's just simple. Ow.
as it collides into you, burning off parts of your skin and whatnot. Then you understand that it was not just an eruption. Something emerged from the volcano.
Oh, great.
Oh god, it's the dragon! I'm pissed!
Just great.
Ah, shit.
Alright, I guess you're my ride out of here.
And as you fall through the air, make a perception check.
Yeah. Perceiving stuff. Not so much.
You fly over. In the flying around you lava, you see a different object just passes through you. Like momentarily, it was seemingly like a blue orb just across your face, and it's gone from your vision.
What was that?
It was absolutely like different from what was coming. And you see Dragon climbing out, like looking around.
Okay.
It doesn't seem to pay attention. You're quite far away from it. And it starts to flap its wing like and just flies up into some direction.
Alright. Huh, that was weird.
As you say that, it becomes even weirder.
I wonder if he's part of the trial.
It becomes even weirder as you say that, because it... Come on. I need to do this. Cannot see a shit though. Alright, there you go.
Apparently I'm buried in the mountain now. Oh, okay. Or that happens. That's kind of cool, I guess.
Now you feel that you are not falling,
Mm.
but the volcano is falling on your head.
Uh-oh. I'm gonna go away. Go away, volcano! I'm gonna start teleporting away from it.
Okay, as you teleport several times up, make a perception check again.
Okay. Perception check. Again.
Alright, 14 is enough. As you teleport several times, you see this familiar blue orb just passes nearby with you.
I'm gonna try to grab it.
Okay, Make a dexterity check.
Alright. Dexterity.
Is the map supposed to be upside down?
Dexterity check?
Yep.
Okay. Ugh.
Okay, you grab it out of thin air and find yourself back to the temple entrance.
Alright.
Flying,
Apparently real tiny. No.
upside down,
Oh, okay.
holding that orb.
Alright. Well, I guess it's the world to me now.
Says, as you arrive, Az stands up like, I was totally sure about you were making it. Your meal, nonetheless.
Indeed.
He takes the orb from your hands and says, good, good. Places it on the table. Sit, eat, stop flying. Possibly?
Let's see. Did I cause this? Flying upside down?
Says, well,
No, I'm asking you, not in character.
says, yeah, you absolutely passed the test. Now we are ready for training.
Oh, I thought that was training. Damn.
It was a part of a training, he says.
Well, then I shall enjoy some of this food. Pass the fish, apparently.
Mm-hmm. Fish. Okay. He grabs a plate and gives it to you and says, I wonder how your friends are doing.
Oh, I'm sure they're doing just fine. Your test was simple. It was excruciatingly painful, though.
Says, that's a test. If you can endure, you can proceed.
Oh, well, if all your tests are like this, I may need some rest.
I was not the inventor, he kind of says. Though, enjoy your meal. Okay. Mara and Valana. As you are swirling inside of a tornado over the ocean, the tornado kind of starts to suck in the water and gout it into the swirls of the air, and it starts to get really, really complicated to see what's around you, not just orient. And as you're holding each other and protecting each other, make a perception checks.
It's I say I don't get an advantage, do I?
I see
Oh, you're not
everything!
smelling? Okay. The wrong character though. Okay.
No, I rolled on the right sheet. I just had the wrong name down here.
Okay. So, Lana, as the water sprouts from the ocean, you see a yellow orb arise nearby, maybe like in 15 feet away from you, and floats just like in the center of the tornado.
I have an idea. I'm going to
see
grab onto.
a floating orb, Mara.
Can you tell me where it is? And I will. I have an idea for getting us to it.
I point her towards it, assuming we.
I grab Valana's
to it.
hand and while focusing on where the orb is, I'm going to teleport us to it.
Okay, I would like you to make one of the two, Arcana check or Dexterity check, in order to calculate your teleportation in this dire environment when you are spinning and floating around, getting knocked in the face and whatnot. Okay. You teleport and take Valana with you, and you collide into a bunch of debris brought up by the tornado. You both take 25 points of bludgeoning damage as it
Ouch.
collides into your faces and leaving scratch marks across your body.
However, Mora still has her shield of faith on.
Yep,
So that's
she
something.
does. That automated concentration save is so good.
I
Okay.
rolled one above. Like wow.
I am going to then. Okay, I need to be able to focus. I take a deep, calming breath, and I'm going to try again. Wait, no. First, I'm going to say, no, that's a concentration, and I don't have that available. I'm going to take a deep, calming breath and try again.
Okay. Yeah, this time you get close to the thing and it's like in the reach of yours.
I'm going to swing Valana around so she can grab it.
Okay. I suppose Valana make a dexterity check with advantage to grab it. So yeah, with a 17 you swing your hand and just manage to catch it out of thin air. And you guys reappear at the temple above the table. Well, and basically just crash into the food and whatnot products that are standing on the table, splattering everyone with wine.
Oh no!
Oh god, why does it ruin the wine? That was good wine.
Wine is not good for you, anyways.
Mara turns around and curiously there's a muffin in her mouth.
Why do you have a... Okay.
Found one.
Hey, Mara, do you have that regenerative stone? Valana, do you have that regenerative stone?
Yes?
Can I have it?
No.
Silas holds up his hand. Are you sure?
Falana, like, up on the table, gets on a tailor position with the bag of holding in her lap, just fiddling around, and then pulls it out. Looks over at Silas. Is Alejandra close to him?
Sorta, she is carrying.
She's constantly at his side and very close to him. Yes.
I imagine such. Well, you need two hands to equip it. Why don't you help him, Alejandra? He gives it to Alejandra.
She doesn't answer you. She just stays focused on Silas. Actually, she looks at you for a moment. You need to tend to his injuries.
So, for you to be aware, the regeneration stone will fix not only missing parts, but the health too, like, in time.
Yeah.
It's not going to be a momentarily experience, but it's in a span of several hours, it does heal good. So, as kind of like sighs and says, well, what did I expect? Could you please get off the table? And Lana, you're currently like standing in one of the bowls. Mara is sitting in one of the larger ones and whatnot.
But I like this table.
Says, "We're trying to eat here. Please give me the stone."
He gives you the stone and starts grabbing something from the table to eat.
Okay, he puts all 3 stones in a row and says, "Okay, the last one." Says, "She's all alone there. Fushina."
Fushina's going to be focusing on using protection from energy to protect herself from the cold and looking around to see if she can see anything.
It is absolutely impossible to see further than 20 feet in this environment. It's like snow pouring over, and the territory is obscured heavily with snow and the wind. But make a perception check with a disadvantage.
Okay. I'm rolling 15 feet. Yeah, Fushina has like exceptional perception.
Okay, 23 is enough for you to understand that there is something maybe like 100 feet below you in a crevasse, shining like green pulsing energy, like a dot. And that's the only thing that's
Okay.
in this environment.
Fushina's gonna head down towards where she sees the thing.
Okay, I need you to make a dexterity check so you can sort of slide into the crevasse. Because there is no way to climb down, it's too steep.
Hello?
We hear
Hello?
Yeah, everyone's just gone really quiet.
Yeah, I think Slava cut out.
Do you hear me though?
Yeah,
I hear you
can
now.
hear you.
So, I need you to make a dexterity check to slide down the crevasse to get to that object of that's shining, because it's sort of like too slanted and steep to climb down.
And here's where I screw up.
Oh boy. So yeah, as soon as you try to like slide down it, you slip and like stagger back, hit your head, and start rolling down like a snowball, picking up every stone on the way down. Okay, I believe that's 100 feet, so that's a 10d6. That's 34 points of damage. But you
Okay.
land down next to this green bead of light, buried in the snow.
Christina will start to dig it out.
Okay. You dig it out, and you see a what seems to be a small mirror, maybe size of a palm. And inside of it, there is some sort of a shine that actually emanates this green glow. What you gonna do?
Eminent?
What again?
Kushina will grab the mirror and examine it.
Okay, you will look at the mirror, not into the mirror?
She's looking into the mirror.
Okay. She picks up the mirror, looks into it, and what she sees is her own version, but when she is like an old, withered tree, like, you know, the bark is falling off her face. There is like cracks going through the left part of it and crossing the eye and the nose. And you see that the blossom that was in her hair is not longer there. And the mirror is sort of emanating this bad energy. Like feeling absolutely like state of decay.
Hmm. Uh. Huh. I don't know what to do.
So, what do?
Um. Well, I guess we should look at the mirror curiously and then. Like, I honestly have no idea what to do, and Amber just kind of passed out a bit ago. So, I think I would probably have Fushina. Wait, what do I have for terms of spells for her? No.
Well, that's why you need to attend to the game when you're playing. Don't play for everyone next time. All right?
Yeah, but she was feeling kind of bad and wanted just things.
I know. She could have stayed in the camp and just be there.
I know. Possibly, since the mirror's kind of looking like it's showing a false image, break the mirror?
Okay, so you want to break it?
Yes.
Alright. As you slam it into a nearest rock, it breaks into 1,000,000 shards. It's like, and those shards kind of float up into the air, and they come back with the storm, with the snow, and this debris hits you pretty hard. I need you to make a dexterity saving throw. Oh boy. Oh, that's a high roll. Take 27 points of damage, as the shards kind of bite into your bark, leaving giant gashes, was emanating the green light. And as they soak into it and float like in your veins, you feel like there is something inside your body that is not belonging to it. You look around for any other things that might be here. And you see right before you a black orb just floats right on your face level. Maybe like a couple of steps away from you.
If she will walk forward
Okay.
and also because she's feeling like there's something inside of her. What's it called? Lesser restoration on herself.
What you're trying to remove?
No way, not lesser restoration. Which one is the one I'm looking of? The one that yes. Detect poison and disease. That's what I wanted to use. Sorry.
Detect poison and disease. You don't think you're diseased or poisoned.
Okay.
So, as soon as you do that, you appear a little behind everyone, holding that black sphere in your hands. And look at everyone. Everyone is beat up, like everyone is injured in one way or another, but they all seem to be having a feast, sitting down a little below the steps.
On what's left of the table.
Well, it is designed for 12 people.
I did not even click on that. I was trying to close down the sheet.
Okay,
I just
so
had my mouse and kind of did that.
you need diamond dust worth of 100 golden pieces.
Like I said, I didn't mean to click on that. I was closing out Amber's sheet for a second.
Okay. So,
and then
as perks up, like, oh, the last one? Okay. He takes away the sphere, places it together, says, now watch. This 4 was the, let's say, dragon keys. Now the dragons are free, but they will come for these things.
Hmm.
And he kind of puts them in front of you. This one for the black dragon, this one for the red dragon, this one for the golden dragon, and this one he kind of looks. I don't remember this one. He kind of shrugs.
That's not ominous at all.
I mean, I have them. They won't be following you.
Right. You get the orbs and they follow us.
Well, I mean, you can keep them if you want,
Not really.
since they are powerful artifacts.
May I have a look at the one for the red dragon?
I said, sure. He kind of rolls it towards you.
I grab it again.
You touch it, like, to check if it's hot. It's not. It's just, red at the moment.
I
Okay.
want to move away from the group and sit on the floor and then start concentrating. See what if I can find anything out about it.
Concentrating to get, like, information about it will not help much.
No, I remembered that I had a feeling about it earlier. I'll see if I can find that feeling again and make some sort of. I want to see if there's any intelligence or such within this orb.
Well, you see a lot of symbols. Maybe an Arcana check or History check will help you there. But there is no, like, connection. Looking at this is some sort of a ancient scroll making device.
Silas, Silas, do you want to come here for a moment?
What is it?
Let's look at these runes here. They seem to be indicate that this device is some sort of scroll making. This artifact is some sort of scroll making device.
Really?
Yeah. You think if you roll it on the parchment in a specific pattern, it may create a scroll, a specific scroll, but you don't know.
I want to attempt that then. I have paper, I have ink, and I'm going to try that.
Is you
With the
roll
help
it
of Silas
paper,
as
you roll it on a simple paper, you see paper just gets black and charred and then just burns up immediately.
Interesting. Seems that there's some sort of scroll on this, and we need to find the right method of subscribing it.
I think you need scroll. I think you need magical paper.
I don't have that. I have normal. I start studying this thing. I'm curious about it. I want to understand it. I want to know what's on there.
So, Chisholm says, well, I'm full. Nice company, you guys. Too bad I'm gonna beat you up for next 2 months in a row.
Ha!
Bring
If
it
that's
on,
what it
Asa.
takes. If that's what it takes to learn the skills, then that's what it takes.
Bring on, Asa. I punched a dragon in the face today.
You can certainly try.
He kinda says, you faced a dragon. I trapped that dragon.
Banana just sitting on top of the table eating whatever just looks at you with a determined face like bring it on. Not saying that but like giving that look.
You know, if that's what it takes for me to learn what I need to know, then that's what it takes.
Leo says, yes, yep, just need some rest now. And he's going to sleep on the bed or something.
I actually packed the orb into my bag. I want to study this for a while.
He kinda looks at you and says, well, you're here, you're under my protection. If you leave with that orb,
I know. I have 2 months to study it and to understand it. If I cannot do it in that time, then I don't have the right to.
You know
Understand.
I'll go ahead.
says, alright. Anyone else wanting that piece?
What pieces are there?
There is a black orb,
A black orb,
the blue orb,
blue orb.
and the yellow orb.
Falana and Mora would like the orb they found.
And
Mara,
Ocean is going to ask for the role that she
Mara,
found.
Mara, may I make a suggestion? I mean, you keep making mistakes with the character and everything. Maybe you should just send Putsina down to the camp. She can always join us again next week.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not nasty, anything against you, but it would be nice if you could just concentrate on Mara.
Yeah. I think I'm just a little too out of it to concentrate on 2 characters today.
Yeah. So maybe you just send her down.
Yeah.
Okay,
But Mars going to ask for the orb that her and Volana found.
so the yellow one. Hey, he kinda picks it up and throws it to you.
And you did nearly lose the character, so it's probably not a good idea to play in that state of mind.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I'd like to see Amber in the group, but it's not worth you being stressed and being unable to play for her to get the goal.
No one else wants to take one. I suppose Mia will take the black one, maybe? I don't know.
Okay. How many? What are the other orbs that are left?
Well, one left now. It's the green one.
I guess Silas takes the green orb.
So wait, the red one, yeah. So Mio takes the black orb, Mara takes the yellow orb,
Black.
Randra takes the red orb, the Silas takes the green one. Oh wait, it's a blue. I'm sorry. The green one you didn't find.
Yet.
Maybe yet, maybe not ever.
It is as it is.
Oh crap! Was I supposed to do that?
I don't know. Okay, so Neil, as you take the black orb in your hands, it feels comforting. Like you would expect like a little, you know, power sensation that may be like threatening or whatnot, but it's a familiar sensation of the necromantic magic.
Alright. I like this orb. This is kind of cool. I'll just kind of stare at it, I guess.
As like says, that's not a toy though. Be careful with that.
You know him, he won't.
I say, I know what's a toy and what's not a toy. And, well, everything is a toy.
You hold it in your hand and you hear in your mind, I'm not a toy.
We'll, like, turn around. Who said that?
In your hand. Here.
In my hand?
Yeah, well, you look back at the orb and that speaks to you.
This is strange. I look at everybody else, or at least everyone else that has an orb. Do they appear to be talking to people?
Nope.
Rolanda seems to be in deep concentration reflection on her one.
No, that one doesn't speak to you.
Let's go to Arcana check on his.
Okay. As you check your orb with Arcana powers, you feel the presence of like poison and acid in your hand, and you think this thing is dangerous.
Can I roll Arcana to try and figure out more about it?
To like pick it up, look at it, and the covering is blue, but inside you hear like you shake it in your ear and you hear the liquid is sloshing inside of it.
Certainly odd.
What is that?
This is acid or something. Poison.
Shake. Doesn't make any sound.
Your does not. It makes like a little you know, mechanical noise, like a clockwork.
I start looking if there's any buttons or anything on it, as if it might change from if I can
Make a perception check.
start trying to rotate parts of it and such things. What should I do?
Quite rotate the thing, but you find a keyhole.
There's a keyhole here. Looking to the monk. Where would the key be?
He says, how would I know?
They're your orbs, aren't they?
He says, I just used these artifacts, I didn't create them.
I take out a little set of tools and start fidgeting with the keyhole, with the lock.
Okay.
Oops.
With the 23, you kind of pick up the pattern. It's a really, really complicated keyhole, but you hear a slight ping as you do it, and you see like a part of this metallic red ball like shifts just a little.
I continue to work on it.
So I'm just gonna roll his around, look at all the surfaces. Is there anything you can see on them?
What you gonna do?
He like rolls the orb around, like looking at all the surfaces.
It seems to be having like 4 symbols on each side, which like swirling spirals. And you look closer at it, and you see like there is a perforation, but it's so small. Needle thick, but it's currently like closed.
So I was gonna hold it to the holes upwards and then start like swirling it, see if that does anything.
What do you do?
He's just gonna swirl it. Like the liquid inside is like gonna swirl it around.
Well,
It sloshes. That's it.
fine brandy.
So I was gonna hold upside down to the holes on the bottom.
The what?
The hole, little hole.
No, it is all over the orb. There is multiple
Oh.
holes, but they are closed. Like the plates on the bowl are shifted. The way the perforation is there, but it's not letting out liquid.
So I was gonna put it on the floor and then try firing an acid chromatic orb at it.
It arcs off.
What?
You shoot the acid chromatical orb with it, and then this thing, and just like arcs off it and gets away.
What are you doing?
Testing.
You hear the orb just says, "He is a fool. He doesn't know what he's doing."
Yes. He just starts laughing. You're totally right, Orb. He is a fool.
Excuse me?
The Orb thinks you're a fool, and I agree with him. Fool.
There's a man who has done repeatedly stupid things on almost a daily occurrence.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
So it says the man who has done idiotic things on almost daily occurrence.
I have never done anything idiotic.
The dragon. The skeletal dragon.
And yes, he just looks at you blankly.
You left it in a populated area.
Oh, I'm sure it's fine.
You and I both know it's not.
I have no evidence to prove otherwise.
Uh-huh. Silas is gonna take his orb. Can we try to get a bucket of water and see what happens if he plops it in it?
The what?
I don't get it plops in a bucket of water.
Someone is making too much background noise, and I believe that's Salandra typing.
I'm not typing, I punched the fucking cupboard next to me.
How?
Because I was trying to use Chad to get back into the fucking group.
Huh?
How?
Hmm?
Sorry, what?
Guys, I'm gonna be right now. My character withdraws for a while to concentrate on. I need to calm myself down. It's not a good thing.
Okay.
I'll
So-
still hear everything that says. I just should be concentrating on the orb anyway.
Okay.
Gonna say, Slice is gonna try and drop his order into a bucket of water and see how it reacts.
It floats on the surface.
Does anything happen to it?
No. So, Mara, you're examining your orb, and it's unlike the others. It's smooth, almost like polished. There is no visible representation of wear and tear. It seems like a brand new, like, the crystal orb. And you kind of examine it, and it's, when you look at it for a long time, like maybe like 10 seconds, it becomes like transparent. You look through it
Yes.
for a moment, and you see, like, if you look at Valana, I believe that's what you would be doing. You see a spiritual eel just floats in front of Valana. And then you see some sort of a creature just lands down on the table. You remove the orb from your gaze and there is nothing in front of you. Put it back, you see those creatures just wandering around. You look up into the sky and you see a giant, like, cloud of creatures just swirling and swarming.
Interesting. Huh.
Lana just looks at you as I imagine you are almost giving her a funny look through a orb.
Yeah, we are putting it to her eye, looking through it, giving a weird look, and then pulling away, looking around, and going, doing that over and over, and going, interesting.
I have an idea. Like with Silas's Orb, can they try to take a needle and like try to push against these small indentations using it?
Huh.
Slava?
Yeah?
Can Silas take the orb and start? Yeah, take a needle and start like pressing into the indentations in it, see how it reacts.
You click, twitch, nothing happens.
So I'm gonna try to shake it and listen to it. See what noises it makes.
You already did that. It makes a sloshing noise.
I have no idea then. Actually, can I try using aquatic orb and doing cold damage against it?
You do the same thing. You launch the chromatic orb. It just skids off the surface.
You people are very strange. I think I'm going to take a nap.
Yeah,
I
we're
handed
the
over.
strange one.
Okay. Az stands up and says, I heard that you are going to the Greylands soon. And he kind of looks at Nisi and says, yes, right?
You have to repeat that, Slava.
Yeah.
What happened?
You kinda cut out and things like that.
Okay. Az stands up, walks up to Nisi and says, I heard that you were going to the Greylands soon. Right after my training, I believe. And you are in charge of this situation.
That would be correct.
Says, I see. He says, I will need to leave you all after the training. I need to attend to the temple a little bit, and then I will be on my way.
Are you actually going to leave us now, or are you just going to stalk and be close by?
You will not treat me the same way as you have treated me before. Before I have revealed my true form.
Don't expect any different treatment from me. And I just kind of turn back and go back to sleep.
That's
Solana,
a shame.
Solana,
Yes?
Solana.
Yes?
Regardless of your feelings towards him, we are still within his home. We are under his protection, and we are under the rules of just friendship.
Varan looks at you like confused.
I know that it is not always comfortable, but the rules of common courtesy say that we have to treat him with respect, regardless of
Valana-
our feelings or our opinions.
Valana just puts a
I'm
hand
sorry.
on your shoulder and gives you a smile. I just wanted to say it's a shame to see him leave. I guess I need to find a new goblin to feed fishes to and convince Mio to make another shark face and things.
Says that would be wonderful. But I beg you, don't treat them the same way. Goblins are far more intellectual than you think. I have lived in a tribe of goblins, and you won't believe what high potential they have. They are always treated like a second sort.
I will take your word for it and
I
take
apologize.
next goblin I face in more consideration.
Actually, the goblins I've been in the past have been rather nice.
I
Ruby's a
apologize.
goblin, isn't she?
Yes, as is men, and they were both really nice, and I did spend a lot of time with them.
Sorry, what were you saying, Alejandra?
Nothing of importance. Please excuse me, I need to understand this book.
He leans into Nisi's ear and he says, "So I'm leaving them, and I ask you to take care of them." Because look at them, and he kind of just slightly tilts his eyes. They're hopeless. Seriously.
Says the man who thought it would be fun to spend his life eating rotten fish for a while.
Puts his eyes towards.
He
I will endeavor to do my best, but I do hope that you will be able to join us in the future.
says, "You're always welcome here."
My thanks.
I hand the orb back to him.
He
Why do you seek to... Why you say that we are useless? Then why do you even train us then?
I didn't say you're useless. I said you're hopeless.
Okay, I apologize. If we're so hopeless, then why train us? Why waste your time and energy on us?
He says, "You're hopeless, but you are kind-hearted."
I'm not kind-hearted.
Yeah. He says, "You may say so, but I know better."
You know better.
Yeah.
And the person who truly knows my heart is my God. And I don't even understand them.
Says, "Maybe not yet. It took me 3 millennia to understand what I am."
And even now, they're still racially confused.
I will either understand my God or I will not. It will be as the fates decide. But I will continue to walk on my path.
Yes. If your path brought you here, then probably you're walking the right path. And it might be, just might be, the path of your God as well.
Time will tell. However, the group goes to a place where there is possible, there is a chance that I may find information about who I am and where I come from.
Says, I might know something.
Would you tell me if you did?
No.
So, I don't need to waste my time or energy even asking then.
Says, it's not about time or energy. It's about the experience, she says.
Exactly.
You need to find the mysteries yourself to feel the accomplishment, feel the true, the true essence of discovery. I was a goblin for 100 years just to understand what is it like to be a goblin.
To be honest, if I had that, I am jealous of you for you to be able to do that. Maybe one day I will be able to, but at the moment, I need to understand who I am before I can even think of such things.
Because I can make you a goblin.
Could you make me a tiefling? That could be interesting.
Tiefling?
Yeah.
Why that kind of choice, though?
Valana
my
just
pet.
sharpens her eyes.
Going bright red. Apparently the colour red suits me quite well. After turning bright red.
you hear from Valana,
He kind of looks at you and says, so, why that choice?
So I can understand somebody else better.
Says, okay. And he claps his hands, and you see he casts something. I need you to make a charisma saving throw.
This should be fun. Do I have the feeling that this spell's going to do something bad to me?
It's something. You have no idea what the spell is. But it's a powerful spell.
it's lava, Alejandra.
I choose to fail.
It's
Okay.
lava.
I
What
choose
do you
to trust
expect?
him. I choose to trust him.
Okay. As soon as the spell leaves his hand, is the spark a moment, and you kind of close your eyes as it impacts you, and then you feel your bones shifting, skin stretching, and you look at yourself, and you are an albino white tiefling.
Awesome.
Says, you have an hour to change your mind.
Okay. Looking rather surprised. I definitely take yeah. Then I need to make a decision then, don't I? I'll be back before the hour is up.
Maybe.
I definitely need a private roleplay for this.
Not happening. Well, if you want to put it that way, Raven, quite literally, yes, I do believe at the moment she is horny. She has horns.
Sorry.
Yes, I went there.
Oh, if you only knew.
Looks sort of in just a moment.
I withdraw from the group, taking the just go for a walk.
It is sort of difficult to walk because the change hooves appeared, and you're like, shit, this is gonna take some time.
Yeah, but I still don't look too. I don't stumble and land on my face at least.
Oh god. Wow.
Yeah, it looks good, guys. Sure you want to be a white tiefling? Aren't white tieflings often hunted?
Why would they be hunted?
Because they're extraordinarily rare.
White tiefling scales or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
No, white tiefling slaves, yeah.
White tiefling
Not
slaves.
white tiefling
They're
scale.
often kept prized as slaves, so
Hmm.
maybe
Yeah.
make her a red one instead. Just to be safe.
I mean, it
He kind of
can-
like looks at you and says, "We are not in a grocery shop, so you're not allowed to pick."
But Valana goes
I
up to Alejandra, kind of puffs her and say, "Well, it kind of fits you to be some sort of a slave."
Okay. That
Listen,
might.
in that state, she's going to be hunted for the rest of her life. So why don't you turn her into a red one so she doesn't have to deal with that?
You don't swap the liner, it seems. Just give her an evil. Just glare at her. Necros, Silas,
Mhm.
the decision's mine.
Indeed, it is. She wants to be a tiefling. She gets to be a tiefling if she wants.
Why did you choose a white one though?
I didn't choose the right one. It was what I was given.
No. I mean, why did he choose a white one?
Because the decision to make change should not be made lightly.
He just shakes his head and says, "She wanted to feel how to be like someone. So it's easy to be someone powerful. It's easy to be someone influential. It's easy to be someone that has no troubles at all.
It's
You will not feel any changes in yourself if you're not put into the hell of it, into the bottom of the volcano. Sorry for the metaphor over here." And he kind of looks to Mia.
I'm trying to sleep.
Change shouldn't be easy, and anything worth having is worth fighting for.
Yes, but it'd be impossible for her to live as any life as a white one.
If I make the decision to stay in this form, then it is mine to make with all that it means.
Yes. She's absolutely right. It's up to her if she wants to stay this way or change the way it is. But
I wanted something for a reason. If I'm not willing to accept it in this form, then I should not seek it in any other form.
Why are you being moved down?
She withdraws from the group in silence.
Alright.
Valana would like to try and follow her.
No, Valana. I want this time alone for me.
He stops and actually quite courteously, like nobly, just puts her
You
hands
will-
together and bows.
You, all, Valana, Mio, all of you have lost somebody who has been your companion recently. Maybe you should take the time to look at what needs to be done. Regardless of everything, the group lost their leader. You need to just make a decision. Nisi is being set for this task as our leader. But there needs to be structure within the group. We cannot fall on a time. It cannot wait until a time that there is a confrontation. Work out among yous who will take Isa's place. turning and then walking off.
As she walks away, stumbles several times and then vanishes in the forest.
Well, I chooses to live for the moment. I don't know where Big Sister has gone, but it will not stop me. As she looks over to the party, she glances over towards Mara and say, and nothing will stop me from doing what I want to do, even if I am the Duchess.
Now that's the way to live. And he just turns over.
Banana just eyes at you and goes away herself.
I walk over. I walk over towards Silas and hold out the stone. I don't know if you know the identify spell, but could you at least try? If you do, can you try to find out what this thing does? Because I'm able to see some things through it.
Yeah, well,
Other than that, I think I need to think for a while.
so I was going to cast identify on it.
Okay. If you cast an identify on this orb, it has several effects. First, if you look through it, you can see into a ethereal plane for 100 feet. So basically detecting any spirits, any creatures that are influencing the material plane from ethereal. The second thing that it does, it grants true vision if you look through it. So all invisible objects, everything is impossible to hide from this thing. And the other thing, it's a detector. If you hold it in your hand while you walk, it will detect hidden doors when it's in proximity of 10 feet.
That's pretty sweet.
And it's called the Stone of Secrets.
Oh, okay. All the stones are different. Okay. I was thinking they all did the same thing.
No.
Okay.
That's the one that's mine.
That sounds like it could be quite useful. I think I'm gonna hold on to this and possibly find a way to put a frame around it so that way I can use it as like an eyepiece.
It's quite large, so not likely.
I didn't know how big it was.
It's the size of a large apple.
In that case, I'll just keep it in my like pouch.
I'll make you an oversized monocle. It'll be great.
Maybe magnifying glass, but not a monocle. Come on. Okay, so
It'd be great for making like a spyglass.
spyglass, maybe still gonna be larger aggregate.
So I was going to cast identify on the other two orbs that are here as well.
The red ones you left behind.
Yeah, I know.
The red one is lying on the table near Az's plate.
Okay, he's going to identify all of them then.
Okay, you casted identify on your own, the blue one. And as you identify, you get a feeling this is some sort of contraption. It has a name of a disaster sphere.
Whoa.
Okay.
Disaster.
You can use your action to throw a sphere into the direction not further than 30 feet, and it will cast a random spell that emanates acid or poison, such as a poison cloud or stinky cloud, produce a shroud of acid. But it's all on random. And also, if you twist it counterclockwise, those charges on the first thing, they are recharging each day, so it's once per day. But if you twist it counterclockwise and then throw it, it will self-destruct, but it will deal a fucking ton of damage, equivalent of 500 magic missiles.
That's a lot of magic missiles.
But the targets are selected randomly.
Including allies?
Including allies.
Oh boy.
So, if you use that shitty thing, so you need to immediately get out of there. And the red orb is called the Heart of the Dragon. It is an actual Heart of a Dragon piece stored into the thing, inside of it, like into the orb. First of all, the bearer of this thing gets a fire resistance at all times. The second thing, the bearer of the thing gets an equivalent of a dragon breath at all times. So he can use the dragon breath as a bonus action on a turn to gout out a 15-foot cone of flame.
Very nice.
And the third thing, it does create the scrolls, but if you roll it on the parchment, and when it's heated on the prepared paper, it will produce the scroll of dragon breath.
Oh, okay. Pretty nifty.
Do you identify the black one though?
It's just like sitting on my pillow, so I mean, I guess he could.
If you put it on your pillow, it sort of starts to hum some sort of a lullaby to you.
Oh, it's nice. I like it. I just,
You are aware, however, the red one was yours.
Aware of what?
The red one was not yours. The thing
No,
was
I thought. Oh, okay. I thought he was talking about the black one.
Yeah, the black one is humming.
Okay. Sorry, my mistake. I zoned out for a moment there.
It happened.
So Silas, are you going for it or not? Necro.
You're muted, man. You must
Yeah.
have, you must have went off to do something.
Sorry, I distracted
Sorry,
you.
what? Yeah, so my thing's looking like heck. So I'm still going to try and identify the black orb.
Okay, as you pick it up,
You die.
you know, identify it. It's sort of unpleasant to hold in your hands for some reason. Like you're holding a ball of slug or something like. Who's making that background noise? Oh, it's Necro with the fan. So, it is called the Moaning of the Dead. First of all, it is possessed by 1,000 of souls, and they love to speak to the bearer. And they might bring up some useful information if you ask them, and they might know it. The other thing, this orb could be released, and it will possess nearest graveyard with the souls. And they will rise as dead, uncontrolled, but they will rise.
Okay.
And the third thing that it's doing, it can cast the Finger of Death once per month.
Wait, it can cast it, or I can cast it?
If you're holding it, you can cast it.
Okay. Well, or yeah.
Once
all right.
per month, yes.
Well, I will start doing that immediately.
So yeah, Silas, you know all this information. Do you relay it to Mio?
Oh God, no. No, no.
You're muted, Necro.
Okay, so sorry, I cut out. My internet's lagging. So what are the full effects again?
You missed all of it?
I missed most of it. I know that you can ask it questions and it'll answer it to the best of its abilities.
Okay. This artifact is able to release 1,000 of souls to raise the nearby graveyard from the dead to uncontrolled undead creatures, zombies, skeletons, whatnot. Also, the souls can answer you that they have seen during their lifetimes and maybe bring some good information to you. And also, you can cast once per month a Finger of Death.
Alright.
Honestly, Silas would be pretty interested in this all.
Morning, dead, useful information. Possess nearest graveyard. Finger of Death. Got it.
Nice asleep.
Yeah.
So, Silas, you know that information. Will you relay it to Neo?
Fuck no!
Thank goodness.
It's okay. I'm pretty sure the orb will tell me.
You don't know that it can answer questions.
Really, you trust Mio? Really? Mio wouldn't immediately try to abuse that power.
Well,
you can just stand next to that orb and you get that information as you identify it while Neo is trying to nap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was only saying it'll tell me because...
Wait, question. Would Mio believe if Silas were to say the orb ran away?
Uh-huh.
Would Mio believe that?
I don't know. You'd have to lie pretty well.
He's a pretty good liar.
I don't see... I mean, it rolled away. I don't see it running away. Maybe it rolled away. I guess
rolled away from home.
I could see that happening, maybe.
God, let's give it to the friggin' Black Dragon.
It's laying on his pillow, just next to his head.
Sleepy time.
I don't know, I kind of feel like a dick nicking that item from you, but it's a case of I do not trust Mio with that.
Do you guys trust Mia with anything?
Yeah, exactly. Like, out of character, I feel like a dick. In character, no way he can have that.
Okay.
Make a decision, man.
So that means you gotta figure out how to get it away from him.
I say he's gonna let Mio keep the orb, but he's not gonna tell it what it does. He's gonna he's just gonna tell it that it's like you ask a question. He's just gonna tell it how it will answer questions. That is all he's telling you. He's not telling you about its other abilities.
Alright.
That way, the orb with his stupid questions.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you basically tell him that it just can answer questions. That's it.
Yeah, it can't, like it might be able to. It answers questions you ask it.
Okay.
Thank you for and telling me this important information, and I roll over and go back to sleep.
Okay. Alondra, as you walk away deeper into the forest, you find like an opening with a large stone in the middle of the forest. Sit down on top of the stone and just look to the distance, thinking on your decisions, on your future and whatnot. Close your eyes and try to reach to your deity. I would like you to make a religion check.
I cast guidance on myself.
So you sort of reach
As I
out.
said, I will sacrifice what's necessary to reach him. Or her, or it.
You sort of like try to reach where whatever the aspect you are trying to reach to, but it's sort of evading, and you think that your way of thinking, your way of like existing in the world changed a little bit as soon as you changed the form. But you're not sure why is it not working at this moment. Like when you need answers, he's not just not there.
Fuck you, would you finally show yourself? I'm not asking anymore.
Make another religion check.
I cast a second guidance.
Oh my.
I by now start sacrificing spells. And
It's not gonna work this way.
I know it's not, but I will do it anyway.
I think you're gonna have to make. Yeah.
You sort of start to spew out your spells, like just
No,
ending the energy,
I know what I will do.
and then you still feel no contact. And it feels cold because as soon as you found yourself like a connection to this deity, it again leaves you alone in the moments when you need it.
Huh.
So you're left in solitude in your new white tiefling body. The time is ticking. You spend like 20 minutes just trying to reach out. You can roll a divine intervention if you want. Jesus Christ, come on. Just 2 lower would be good. You
So
kind of try to desperately breach whatever the barrier is between you and your deity, but you feel like you're close to this shadowy gate in your mind, and as soon as you reach it, like you sprawl out for the doorknob, but you get repulsed and you open your eyes again in the middle of the forest.
Is some exciting forest movement.
Okay, guys. So
Yes.
the next couple of months will be just pure training, beating each other while casting magic and whatnot. Running in the mornings through the mountain hills, dipping your asses into boiling water while training, trying to maintain the concentration, getting ass kicked by Az and whatnot.
No, okay.
And I actually wanted to end this game earlier today to speak about important stuff.
Okay.
So, I need one answer. If Alundra stays a tiefling.
Ooh.
But Anna would like to have her little sister as a human. However, it matters little as long as she's settled on it herself. Like, it's up to her in short sense.
Okay. In several hours, you see a white tiefling walks out of the forest brush
My
and approaches
right there.
the group. And as you approach, you see like an approval in eyes from the mind splinter. Kind of nods and says, "Yeah, go through the trial. That's the way to go."